News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. Today's the deadline to register to vote for the upcoming presidential election. You can register online with your county's supervisor of elections. Also today, Cape Coral City Council will vote whether or not to make more than $34 million in changes to the Cape Coral Yacht Club. Those changes include converting the pool into a small water park with a splash pad and water slide and adding a 3-story parking garage. Crews are gearing up for a new round of road work. Starting tonight at 8 o'clock, there will be north and southbound lane closures along State Road 31 at the Wilson-Piggott Drawbridge over the Caloosahatchee. Crews are making those repairs to the bridge post and rail system damaged during a crash. The work will continue until 5 in the morning and will run every night through Thursday. President Trump tweeted another video Sunday night as he continues his recovery from COVID-19 at Walter Reed Medical Center. The president says he's feeling better. He even left the medical center for a short ride in his motorcade past supporters lined up outside the hospital who were wishing him a speedy recovery. Joe Biden is back in Florida today. He'll take part in a town hall meeting in Miami in front of a group of undecided voters. As for President Trump, members of his family are expected to be in Florida over the next 2 weeks as he still recovers from COVID-19. New information on a homicide investigation in Collier County. Deputies tell us the victim is a man. This happened Saturday along River Reach Drive. Other details about what exactly happened have not been released. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
Good Monday morning, Cape Coral commuters. There's a crash at Wilmington Parkway and Santa Barbara Boulevard. That is causing complete roadblock between Juanita Place and Santa Barbara on Wilmington. So if you usually take this route, you'll have to hop on Northwest 32nd. Also delays building in North Fort Myers on Business 41 just to the north of Pine Island Road. We still look great though, heading out of North Fort Myers into downtown on both bridges. And slow traffic beginning in Fort Myers on Daniels Parkway, heading towards I-75. No surprise there. The interstate's still up to speed. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, especially this afternoon and this evening, there will be a chance for some occasional pop-up scattered storms passing by. Temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s, breezy at times. More chances for rain scattered across our area on Tuesday, Wednesday, just a few Thursday, Friday. Chance of scattered storms for the weekend. More upper 80s and lower 90s as we avoid future Hurricane Delta in the Gulf of Mexico this week with its sights set on the northern Gulf Coast by Friday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News. The debates continue.
I humbly accept your nomination to run and serve as Vice President of the United States.
I am incredibly honored by this responsibility, and I'm ready to get to work.
The vice presidential debate.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Follow this and all of the presidential debates brought to you by the Floormeisters in Naples, where smart shoppers cast their vote for quality flooring every day.
Pence versus Harris.
We made America great again.
Coverage starts at 9 p.m. Wednesday night, only on 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, this is Adam from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, the only family-owned and operated boat club in Southwest Florida. And you know, one of the best ways to social distance is to be on a boat. At Baywater, we have a contractual 10-to-1 member-to-boat ratio. That gives you unlimited access to over 40 of our boats. Whether you're fishing or just cruising, Baywater has you covered. And folks, the water is great. It's the best water we've had in Southwest Florida in a couple decades. Want to keep the boat overnight? At Baywater, anything is possible. And this weekend, we're holding an open house and running special pricing. So stop by and see the Baywater difference. Call me, Adam, at 239-495-0455. That's 495-0455. Again, 495-0455. Or find us online at BW Boat Club or just Google BW Boat Club. Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, the exclusive club of Southwest Florida.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. I think it's safe to say that if anybody can beat the coronavirus, it's the President of the United States. And will you do me a favor? Just take a moment out of your day to just lift the President and the First Lady up in prayer for their swift and full recovery, that they would come back from this stronger than ever, and how they have served the nation. And it's time that we give back as well.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau here, owner of D.R. Martineau Roofing of Southwest Florida. We're still finding a lot of roofs with hurricane and windstorm damage. Call us today for a free inspection. Google DRM Roofing or call 239-332-1441.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it's a fit for you.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live on the YouTube every single day. You just go to Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel while you're there. We appreciate it. What a busy day today. I hope you're ready. So just a little idea of what's coming up today. We made national headlines this program, speaking with Governor Ron DeSantis on Friday before the show finished up. A couple of things that the governor said piqued the interest of, let's just say, many around the country. And so what did he say? If you missed the interview, we'll have it coming up at 7 o'clock this morning so you can check it out for yourself. Oh, yeah, he kind of said a few things, and all of a sudden it was like, ding, and there was the media, and they jumped all over it. So you'll get a chance to hear that interview coming up. And then later on this morning, the schedule is like this. 8 o'clock, Dinesh D'Souza will be joining us for about a half an hour. We'll talk about Trump card. We'll talk about socialism. We're going to talk about a lot of different issues that are happening. So Dinesh D'Souza at 8. And then at 8:35, Bill O'Reilly is going to join us. And so we'll have a conversation about his latest book in the Killing series and certainly news of the day. So you'll get Dinesh D'Souza at 8, Bill O'Reilly's take on news of the day, and more coming up at 8:35. So a busy morning, and we are ready to go. And I wanted to say this right out of the gate. Is it too much to ask? Jake probably knows exactly what I'm thinking right now without even talking to him this morning. Not that we didn't talk, but I didn't mention this. Is it too much to ask that people would feel good about the fact that after the president gets a diagnosis of a positive COVID-19 test, and after a few days there at Walter Reed, I believe he's on his third medication now, so he's had dexamethasone, remdesivir, and Regeneron, so antibodies. But clearly, if you've watched some of the videos on social media, feeling much better, appears to be doing well. And I'm going to play some audio of the president because he did something yesterday that drove people crazy because they're going to drive. He's just the fact that he exists drive people crazy. Of course, back in 2014, 2013, 2012, 2015, he was great. He was awesome. Nobody had a problem with him. But now, of course, we know how life works. But after the the fact that he's getting better. You see him, you hear him speak, you see that he's even working. You should feel good about that, right? You should be speaking positive things about the fact that you're looking at a president who appears like he's on the mend. He's getting better. It's pretty good news, right? Jake, am I asking too much? Is it too much to ask that we might see the president and hear from individuals across the country speaking positively about the fact that he's looking pretty good right now, that he's on the mend? Too much to ask?
It's probably the only place you're going to hear that this morning is here.
Yeah. Well, there are a few other places you may, but the president feeling better. And as a matter of fact, he had a surprise for supporters outside of Walter Reed Hospital, in case you missed it. There are thousands of people outside, well-wishers. It's pretty astounding. It's heartwarming to see so many supporters outside the hospital supporting the president, as opposed to some of the things that we have heard and seen outside of hospitals in the past when it comes to certain individuals. Need I go there, but I don't have to. So the president says,
we're getting great reports from the doctors. This is an incredible hospital, Walter Reed. The work they do is just absolutely amazing, and I want to thank them all, the nurses, the doctors, everybody here. I've also gotten to meet some of the soldiers and the first responders, and what a group. I also think we're going to pay a little surprise to some of the great patriots that we have out on the street, and they've been out there for a long time, and they've got Trump flags, and they love our country. So I'm not telling anybody but you, but I'm about to make a little surprise visit. So
make a little surprise visit, the president. And so what did he do? He made a surprise visit outside to supporters at Walter Reed Hospital. He was in one of the vehicles, a Secret Service out there with him. Paid a surprise visit to the great patriots outside, giving the public advance notice minutes earlier in that tweeted message. And it sent everybody just wild, crazy. I don't just mean on the streets. I don't just mean when just how there he is, right? Not just the excitement of people there on the streets as the president's driving by, but the opposite of that, which would be the left, who have gone absolutely crazy, off the rails. This president can't do this. How could you possibly do this? I would assume that the president is healthy enough to do it, and he feels healthy enough to be out there. And of course, liberals, and you can imagine it just goes right down the line of how they were. It is outrageous for the president to have left the hospital. This is from the White House Correspondents Association, so take that for what it's worth. The White House Correspondents Association, the one that sets up every year so that they can have a comedian bash the president, in front of his face. All right. It's outrageous for the president to have left the hospital, even briefly, amid a health crisis, without a protective pool present to ensure that the American people know where their president is and how he's doing. Now more than ever, the American public deserves independent coverage of the president so they can be reliably informed about his health. The first reaction of many that I talked to this weekend was, since when do you care? I mean, I hate to be so flippant, but and laugh because it's really not funny, but it is serious. Since when does the media care? This is the same media that says some of the most vile, outrageous things against the president, will put out information about the president that you just shake your head at. I'll give you one example right now. How about what was it, yesterday? Sanjay Gupta, CNN, doctor of all doctors. I mean, Sanjay Gupta, when you talk about someone who knows anything about everything, apparently that's who it is. So when Sanjay Gupta gets onto CNN and says...
Yeah, well, I mean, so I would say a couple things. One is that I think the president is sicker than the doctors are letting on. And again, I hate to say it that way, but they've made that clear throughout these last several days. They keep...
I just got to stop. So I think, so So what Sanjay Gupta is saying, I think that they're hiding something. So that's the new narrative now. I don't think he's as healthy as they're letting on. I think that you think? You think that you have more information and you know better than the president's doctors. Like, this is how twisted things have become. It's unbelievable. But it's par for the course. It's par for the liberal course here that the media, Democrats, liberals, all the same, would be snapping a gasket of the president going out to see supporters. And I'm looking at all of these tweets that are out from the left, and they're just so angry. It's, how can you do this? How can you possibly do this? And I'll spare you that. But suffice to say that it would be really nice if, as a country united, we could feel good about seeing the president, hearing from the president. He looks pretty good considering the circumstances, hearing about the first lady getting better on the mend. All of these are positive things that are happening. And so why can't we can't do it. And dare I say, this may be the only person that would be in the White House that you would have the kind of hatred and vitriol against, that you could do these kind of things. Why? What is it? Again, and I don't know, maybe if when we talked to Bill O'Reilly at 8:35 this morning, maybe we ask that question. I mean, it almost seems so simple, but where's the sense in all of it? Unless it really is a situation that you can look at and say that this president is unlike any other that could be in the office, in that he doesn't care. He's going to upset the apple cart. He's going to, if you want to use the word drain the swamp, we want the truth. We want the facts. We want to know everything that has happened with the Russia collusion hoax. We want to know what's going on with both Never Trumper Republicans and Democrats. We want to know what's happening with, if you want to go to a military industrial complex. We want to know everything. We want it all out there on the table. We want to see what's been happening. And imagine if Hillary Clinton were the president. Sorry, I threw up in my mouth a little bit. If she were the president of the United States right now, what that would be like, and the things you wouldn't know about. And it's something to remember, and how important this election is and where we are going. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal. And how there could possibly be anyone right now, we're going to go to break, Jake, right now, but how there could possibly be anyone who's on the fence, who's not sure, who's undecided. Are you really? I might make the case that people are decided. They know what's happening here. And if you are someone who is sensitive to what is happening when it comes to COVID and your concerns about the virus and fighting against the virus, is there a possibility that maybe this battle with COVID could humanize him among swing voters and suburban women? Not my words, but John Solomon's great website, Just the News, had an article about that. I wonder if that's the case. We'll talk about that coming up. Stay break 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. Let's find out what's happening with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
A crash in Cape Coral at Wilmington Parkway in Santa Barbara Boulevard is shutting down Wilmington between Juanita Place and Santa Barbara. You can navigate around this if you hop onto Northwest 32nd, and then you can head southbound on Santa Barbara. Also, there is slowdowns on Tropicana just to the west of Pine Island towards Santa Barbara, and traffic starting to build on Chiquita Boulevard heading north of Cape Coral Parkway. And we look great over the bridges. So that is the good news this morning if you're heading into Fort Myers. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Upper 80s to near 90 degrees for your Monday with clouds and sunshine, breezy at times with a chance for some occasional pop-up scattered rain and storms this afternoon and this evening. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Big Island Builders, whose reputation for quality homes at a fair price is unsurpassed in Naples.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Investors are keeping a close watch on President Trump's health as he fights COVID-19. The Dow, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ all dropped Friday after he announced he picked up the disease. Coming up this week, we'll be getting the latest numbers on the U.S. trade deficit Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll be seeing the newest on consumer credit. And how would you like to own a piano once owned by Cole Porter or a chair that was used by the Duchess of Windsor?
These and many thousands of other items that were once part of New York's Waldorf Astoria will soon be up for auction. The landmark Park Avenue Hotel is undergoing a major refurbishment, and literally just about everything in it, from furniture that was in Winston Churchill's private suite to chandeliers and wall sconces, are going on the block. Karen McHugh, Fox News.
That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jill Nato, invested in you.
Customers, students, and staff expect a new level of clean. Cintas has the essential products and services to help you carry out cleaning protocols effectively. Cintas performs surface sanitizer and disinfectant spray services to common touchpoints, installs and refills touchless hand sanitizer dispensers, and provides commercial laundry services to help minimize employee exposure. Give everyone the confidence they need to keep coming back. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Steele.
92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Looking for a frameless shower door? My Shower Door has just opened their 8th Florida showroom, and it's conveniently located in Cape Coral. With more than 75,000 frameless shower doors installed, no one has more experience and 5-star reviews than My Shower Door. We've been named #1 by readers of the News Press and Naples News for 17 consecutive years and have just been named as Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Does market turbulence and economic turmoil have you worried about your retirement nest egg? I'm Alfie Townsend. Learn how to navigate these uncertain times. Tune in to Saving the Investor radio show every Saturday at 9 a.m. or visit us at savingtheinvestor.com.
You probably know Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano for car accidents and other personal injury matters. But did you know they have attorneys who specialize in many other areas of the law? Whether you're in need of creating or updating your will and testament, or need advice about divorce or child custody, they have an attorney for you. And unlike the all-too-familiar competitors, at Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano, you'll be meeting directly with the attorney handling your matter, not some coordinator or case manager looking to increase their numbers. Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano. They've been serving you for over 35 years. Have a family law question? Are you seeking a divorce or have child custody issues you need resolved? Do you need assistance with dividing property? At Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano, their attorneys can walk you through this difficult process as the needed advocate to protect your legal rights. They've been here for you in the past, they're here today, and will be here for you tomorrow. LDTlaw.com. Offices Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples.
If you have sleep apnea and struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired, irritable.
That's the cutest puppy I've ever seen.
Fatigued.
Can someone please help me lift this tissue?
Forgetful.
Who put this banana in the toaster?
You did?
Oh, yeah.
And even impact your long-term health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. Inspire is a small device placed during a same-day outpatient procedure. Simply click the button on the Inspire remote before you fall asleep. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
I taught my children and grandchildren about stranger danger, trying to protect them from strangers who may wish them harm. But now I find myself thinking that is good advice for people my age, especially those in assisted living or nursing home facilities during this election season. We need to protect our rights and our votes, and that means protecting our ballots from strangers. The best way to do that is to vote in person, but if we must use an absentee ballot, we need to be sure no one tampers with it or fills it out for us, and we should mail it in ourselves. If you suspect that someone is trying to stop you or a family member from voting or safely getting their ballot to election officials, you can call the American Constitutional Rights Union Vote Fraud Hotline for help. 877-730-ACRU. That's 877-730-2278. Protect your vote.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. A programming reminder coming up at 6:50. Drew's College of Political Knowledge. We'll have a little bit of fun with that. 8 o'clock, Dinesh D'Souza will join us. And at 8:35, Bill O'Reilly. So a busy morning ahead. Looking forward to speaking with them. Okay. How bad could things possibly be right now? I understand that the media and Democrats and the left, all one and the same, are doing jokes on Saturday Night Live, and we get to some of that audio pretty disgusting, and how we can't all come together and be positive about the fact that the president is on the mend, and he looks pretty good at that ride by through the crowd that was out in front of Walter Reed to wish him well. And so at least it's not like the Incredible Hulk is like attacking him or anything like that. I mean, we're not getting crazy, like cartoonish. Wait, this just in. Trump's Hollywood Walk of Fame star was vandalized by someone dressed as the Hulk. He took a pickaxe to. Well, I don't know if it's a he. We don't really. Do we really know? Do we know if the Hulk a guy? I mean,
Hulk's a guy.
Okay, no, but I'm not sure. Vandalized Trump star sometime early Friday morning. You realize it gets replaced. It's like if somebody takes the yard sign, you buy 10 more. We put them back up, everybody.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
The debates continue.
I humbly accept your nomination to run and serve as Vice President of the United States.
I am incredibly honored by this responsibility, and I'm ready to get to work.
The vice presidential debate.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Follow this and all of the presidential debates brought to you by the Floormeisters in Naples, where smart shoppers cast their vote for quality flooring every day.
Pence versus Harris.
We made America great again.
Coverage starts at 9 p.m. Wednesday night, only on 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Jay, president of Big Island Builders. When I came to Naples many years ago, I knew I could bring a totally different approach to building custom homes. But I had a problem. I had no contacts here in Naples, no architects knew who I was, and my competition wasn't exactly thrilled about making room for a new builder. For 2 weeks straight, I began to drive the neighborhoods that I wanted to build in. In that process, I found a man at his mailbox and I asked him if he needed any work done on his home. He told me he was glad that I showed up because he wanted to tear down this older home and build a brand new custom home. So that's how we broke into the Naples market. And today, that same drive, energy, and passion that started our company is what we continue to bring to our clients. We build top quality custom homes with passion for a fair price. Give us a call at 239-262-6867 or visit us at bigislandbuilders.com.
It's Rockstar Harley's Sign and Ride event. 0 cash down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2021 on any new Harley this week only. Rockstar Harley has the largest Harley inventory in the state with over 300 bikes in stock. Rockstar Harley has secured financing terms that can save you thousands on interest. No cash down, no payments, no interest until 2021. Annual percentage rates such as 1.99% and no payments until 2021 on any new Harley at Rockstar Harley's Sign and Ride event now through Sunday.
92.5 Fox News.
Donald Trump Jr. joining us.
Where the Trumps come to talk.
So the successes that you have of Donald Trump are because he won't let himself get pushed around.
Election 2020 on 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
What do you want to da-da-da? What do y'all want to da-da-da? I have no idea what to da-da-da.
We could switch to Progressive da. Oh, yeah? We could switch to Progressive and sa. We could sa enough to buy some za. Oh, yeah. Let's switch to Progressive da and get some za with the money we saw. Yeah. Now we know we're gonna da-da-da.
These days, nothing is normal and everything is weird. But you could still save big when you switch to Progressive. It might just be the most normal thing you da-da-da.
Quote da at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
The Advantage program from Service Experts Heating and Air Conditioning takes the stress out of maintaining your home comfort system. Pay no money down, one low monthly rate, and nothing for maintenance and repairs. The Advantage program from Service Experts Heating and Air Conditioning. Learn more at 866-EXPERTS or ServiceExpertsFortMyers.com. See website for license details.
News, I'm Lillian Wu. President Trump condones criticism for taking a drive while being treated for COVID-19.
For exposing Secret Service agents while still reportedly highly contagious. The White House pushed back on that criticism last night, saying appropriate precautions were taken in the execution of this movement to protect the president and all those supporting it.
Fox's Jillian Turner at Walter Reed Medical Center, where President Trump could be discharged as early as today. And the Nobel Prize in Medicine awarded to 2 American and 1 British scientists
for the discovery of the hepatitis C virus. The Nobel Assembly saying Harvey Alter, Michael Houghton and Charles Rice made a decisive contribution to fighting a global health problem. It says their work has saved millions of lives, explaining the cause of a majority of hepatitis infections.
Fox's Simon Owen. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. Today's the deadline to register to vote for the upcoming presidential election. You can register online with your county's supervisor of elections. Also today, Cape Coral City Council will vote whether or not to make more than $34 million in changes to the Cape Coral Yacht Club. Those changes include converting the pool into a small water park with a splash pad and water slide and adding a 3-story parking garage. Crews are gearing up for a new round of road work. Starting tonight at 8 o'clock, there will be north and southbound lane closures along State Road 31 at the Wilson-Piggott drawbridge over the Caloosahatchee. Crews are making those repairs to the bridge post and rail system damaged during a crash. The work will continue until 5 in the morning and will run every night through Thursday. President Trump tweeted another video Sunday night as he continues his recovery from COVID-19 at Walter Reed Medical Center. The president says he's feeling better. He even left the medical center for a short ride in his motorcade past supporters lined up outside the hospital who were wishing him a speedy recovery. Joe Biden is back in Florida today. He'll take part in a town hall meeting in Miami in front of a group of undecided voters. As for President Trump, members of his family are expected to be in Florida over the next 2 weeks as he still recovers from COVID-19. New information on a homicide investigation in Collier County. Deputies tell us the victim is a man. This happened Saturday along River Reach Drive. Other details about what exactly happened have not been released. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
A crash in Cape Coral at Wilmington Parkway in Santa Barbara Boulevard is shutting down Wilmington between Juanita Place and Santa Barbara. You can navigate around this if you hop onto Northwest 32nd, and then you can head southbound on Santa Barbara. Also, there is slowdowns on Tropicana just to the west of Pine Island towards Santa Barbara, and traffic starting to build on Chiquita Boulevard heading north of Cape Coral Parkway. And we look great over the bridges. So that is the good news this morning if you're heading into Fort Myers. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, especially this afternoon and this evening, there will be a chance for some occasional pop-up scattered storms passing by. Temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s, breezy at times. More chances for rain scattered across our area on Tuesday, Wednesday, just a few Thursday, Friday. Chance of scattered storms for the weekend. More upper 80s and lower 90s as we avoid future Hurricane Delta in the Gulf of Mexico this week with its sights set on the northern Gulf Coast by Friday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
It's Fred Colby with your Colby Cooling Tip of the Day. You hear AC technicians with all kinds of fancy titles in advertising like comfort specialist, energy maintenance technician, comfort advisors, blah, blah, blah. So what's that all mean? It's simply a catchphrase for salesman who isn't an air conditioning mechanic. Real mechanics have real NATE certifications. And if your company doesn't employ NATE certified mechanics, you're getting a sales tech at your house for service. A NATE certified mechanic has been to real air conditioning school and is tested for competency. So you know that your mechanic actually knows how to fix your air conditioner and not just sell you stuff. It's easy to spot the difference. Just ask for their NATE ID. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949.
I'm Harvey Massey. At Massey Services, we know every lawn is unique and requires customized care. That's why our environmental approach includes aeration, which allows water and nutrients to reach the roots of your lawn, as well as an irrigation program which ensures proper coverage and reduces water waste. With Massey's Green Up program, you'll enjoy a healthy and a beautiful lawn year-round. That's Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Heroes nowadays can be anyone. And no, they don't have to fly, or have X-ray vision, or superhuman strength. See, in Naples, our heroes wear masks. They practice physical distancing. They wash their hands regularly. NCH Healthcare System and the City of Naples are counting on you to be a hero and wear a mask. Because in Naples, all heroes wear masks.
How many client portfolios is your investment advisor responsible for? Is yours one of hundreds? Or perhaps your financial institution has just been acquired by yet another firm, and the team you've known for years is suddenly gone. At the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company and its division, the Naples Trust Company, our portfolio management team is local and care for a proper ratio of account relationships designed to give you the highest possible attention and an asset allocation that is best for you and your goals. Another key factor is that all of our employees are owners in the trust company through an employee stock ownership plan. So we have no interest in being acquired, and more importantly, we have a vested interest in seeing our clients as happy as we are. Are you ready for a better experience? Contact us at the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company or the Naples Trust Company. Visit sancaptrustco.com to discover the difference.
Not FDIC insured. All investments involve risk and are not guaranteed.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor, the pool doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. Heat pumps take heat out of the air and put it in your pool. They cost less to run than gas heaters, and you won't have panels on your roof. Special pricing, rebates, and free on-site evaluations. We're a family company, and for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133. State certified CPC 057088.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Bruce Dean.
Before we even get started, let's hey, the elephant in the room. President Trump's in the hospital from COVID, and I just want to say my heart goes out to COVID.
You didn't think that was going to happen. You expected anything different. Saturday Night Live goes on the air, and you expected. What did you expect, Jake? What did you think was going to happen with them back?
With
Saturday Night. What do you think they're going to do?
Relevant, right?
That's Chris Rock. What do you think he was going to say? Do you think they were going to be kind to the president? Do you think they were going to see something positive about the president? They spend from what I understand, they spent most of the show bashing him in some way. I guess. Who was it? Jim Carrey was
They should have been paid for by the Biden presidency. 100%.
Yeah. Well, listen,
probably was.
Here's the thing. You knew that was going to take place. That was just one of many bits, jokes, yucks, at the president's expense. And I don't even want to play what they did with Jim Carrey as Joe Biden. You can only imagine. It's just, And look, this is what Hollywood does, right? Hollywood is trying to do whatever they can to bring this president down, just like they did in 2016. Remember in 2016 when they had all the commercials about how awesome Hillary Clinton was and how you should all get out and vote for Hillary, and they had songs and they did some kind of like fight song, Hillary Clinton fight song, and everybody was like a Brady Bunch moment where they had everybody on a tiling on different in different cameras and all these celebrities singing about how awesome remember how that went? Remember how well that worked? It was really cool how Hillary became president. Oh, no, that didn't work, did it?
I'm really offended personally.
Oh, it doesn't get tiring. But they left quite the legacy. I mean, look, if we're going to be honest, at least the Democrats before Hillary Clinton, along with Hillary Clinton, right up until 2016 in the election, they left quite a legacy.
The Uranium One scandal.
The IRS targeting scandal.
The Clinton Foundation. Fusion GPS dossier.
Benghazi. Hillary Clinton email case.
Sergeant Bo Bergdahl. Remember him?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll just leave it there. But nothing unusual and nothing not to be expected. Just sad. Goes along with what we've been talking about since we started the program today. How do you not do that? How is it that you could possibly know that the president has COVID? He looks pretty good. He's doing well. He's on his third medication right now, and there even is talk about who's it? Jillian Turner at Fox just a little while ago was talking about the possibility of heading back to the White House, right?
President Trump's medical team here at Walter Reed Military Hospital say that he could, in fact, be headed home to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue as soon as today. But that is only if the upward trajectory of his symptoms that they have been reporting since yesterday continues. He surprised his supporters gathered along the road outside the hospital with a presidential drive-by, a wave, and a thumbs up to show his appreciation.
Yep, drove by all the supporters outside of Walter Reed, and what a surprise for reporters and everybody else. And, of course, that got them really upset. Speaking of people that were upset, over the weekend, Chris Wallace and Steve Cortez, I don't know if you heard this exchange, but man, this was crazy. It was Steve Cortez and Chris Wallace had this exchange about masks, not wearing masks, who was wearing masks during the debate. And it got pretty testy. I don't know if you heard this, but Chris Wallace is asking about, the family and not wearing a mask. And there was supposed to be social distancing. And basically, Chris Wallace pointing his finger and saying, you didn't do what you promised. You didn't do what you said you were going to do.
Everybody was tested before that event, as you well know. Those of us who went first were tested by Cleveland Clinic directly. Everybody who gets on Air Force One for any trip on Air Force One is tested before they get on.
Steve,
in
it doesn't matter. Steve, it doesn't matter. Everybody that was in that room was tested. Steve, everybody that was in that room was tested. And the Cleveland Clinic's regulation was it didn't matter. Everybody except for the three of us on the stage, was to wear a mask. And people from the Cleveland Clinic came over and offered the first family masks, thinking maybe they didn't have them. They were waved away. And the Commission on Presidential Debates has issued a statement saying, from now on, if you don't wear a mask, you're going to be escorted from the hall. So forget this question of being tested beforehand. Everybody was tested beforehand.
Well, first of all, what is Chris Wallace doing? Why is he getting all testy and angry? He's like, let Steve Cortez answer the question, and then why are you fighting like this with him? Maybe we know why.
But no, I'm going to finish my question. Everybody was told to wear a mask. Why did the first family and the chief of staff feel that the rules for everybody else didn't apply to them?
Chris, we believe that masks are very useful. The president has worn them on many occasions, including visiting.
There was no freedom of choice. They broke the
Chris,
rules.
I was there. I was there like you were, and they were distanced.
Why
those
did they
chairs
break
were
the
not
rules?
Close together. Look, those chairs were not close together. And again, we also believe that people
it doesn't
can
matter,
make
Steve. The
reasonable
rules from the Cleveland
individual
Clinic.
choices.
What is going on with Chris Wallace? He's getting crazy.
He needs a nap.
Maybe he does. But what is the reasoning behind it? Let it go on a little bit, and then I'll get to the point here. Chris Wallace, Steve Cortez, they were arguing over the weekend, Fox News Sunday, about about the first family and not wearing masks and there at the debate and even okay, we'll let it go.
Together, Steve, and the rules from the Cleveland Clinic were everybody wears a mask. Why didn't
Chris, the way you're starting to harangue me now actually reminds me of what you did to the president during that debate on Tuesday night when he had to debate not just Joe. No, and then he had to debate not just Joe Biden, but you as well. You were not a neutral moderator then. I don't mind tough questions. I welcome reasonably tough questions. But what I don't think is okay is for you to become the effective opposition to the president. Okay, and everyone there was tested in the crowd. They were distanced from each other. People can make reasonable decisions for themselves.
No, they can't. They're the rules, and they'll be kicked out next time.
Oh, now wait a minute. And there is something and a takeaway that we're going to talk about right now. By the way, the phone number 239-479-5592. If you want to comment, I see some calls coming in. We'll get to those in just a second. A couple of things. Number one, right there at the end was very telling because when Steve Cortez said, listen, people can make their own choices. They can make their own decisions.
People can make reasonable decisions for themselves.
No, they can't.
Actually, they can't. People were offended. Well, hold on a second. What? You have people in a room that are tested. Then you have social distancing in the room. The first family decided they didn't want to wear a mask. And Steve Cortez says, listen, we have the freedom to, no, you don't have the freedom. You're told to do something and you have to do it. And it goes to different degrees. And that's what took people back for a second was, no, you don't have that ability. When we tell you what to do when it comes to the virus, you have to do it. And I'm amazed because Tom Tillis is somebody who was he's a mask-wearing fool. I mean, this guy is someone who, Senator Tom Tillis, who we find out has tested positive for the coronavirus, and we hope and pray for his speedy recovery as everybody that we do. But this was somebody who wore a mask at the announcement of Amy Coney Barrett. This is somebody that wore a mask in the room at the debates. This is somebody who is mask wearing all the time. And yet somehow, some way, the mask wearing Tom Tillis got the coronavirus the same way that the governor, Northam, and his wife got it in Virginia. People who wear masks all the time. We could go through story after story after story of people who didn't leave the house, did all the proper precautions. Anytime they walked out of the house, they were masked up and still got the virus. How's that possible? I thought the mask was the one way that we can ensure that you don't. I'm not saying you should not wear masks. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that you take the precautions that you feel are necessary for you, especially in the condition that you know about in your body that I don't. But we do have to decide sooner rather than later where we're going with this whole mask debate. And you could say that the reason why all of these senators and the first and the Melania Trump and Donald Trump got the coronavirus was because they didn't wear a mask. Really? How do you know? Where do you get that information? I mean, I'm looking at an article here from Just the News, dated October 4th, 2020, a 2019 World Health Organization. You know, the World Health Organization that we should listen to because they're the ones that know best, right? Review of numerous studies testing the efficacy of face coverings to stop the transmission of influenza found, quote, no evidence that wearing a mask is effective in reducing transmission of the virus. The organization has further discouraged individuals from using cloth masks to cover their faces during pandemics, though at times that advice has appeared to shift. And again, we go back to how are you going to prove it? Contact tracing. How are you, unless you're only contacting 2 or 3 people, how in the world are you going to be able to contact trace? How do you know that you didn't get it from a grocery store or from grabbing a door? Who knows how it is that you received the virus, even with that mask on? So I'm just trying to figure all this out. Shane's in Fort Myers wanted to comment on this. Hey, Shane.
Hey, how's it going? So I watched when Chris was talking about how the first family was not wearing masks at the debate. Well, the same video that he showed to slam him, there were other people behind them that weren't even wearing masks.
Sorry, say that again. I got distracted. I had Jake in my ear.
No, the same video that Chris showed to slam the first family.
Yeah.
There were people behind them that weren't even wearing masks.
Oh, yeah. No, there were a few people there at the debate that were not wearing masks. Hey, listen, I can make the case that I'm looking at a photo right now of Chris Wallace, who I guess was on the phone talking to somebody out in public, and he's not wearing a mask, and everybody around him was. Kind of a little hypocritical, but we don't want to go there.
Exactly.
But there's a lot of that. And again, we unfortunately, and Shane, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, we're in a situation right now where when you have Saturday Night Live, who's wishing COVID well after infecting the president and mocking the president and some of the most vile, horrific things you could ever imagine on social media about the president when you found out about his COVID positive test. Even when we see the president over the weekend and we hear that he's getting better and the doctors are saying, listen, things are looking up. He's on a couple of 3 medications. Things are looking pretty good. And we have people say, I don't believe it. It's a lie. My own eyes, my eyes do not deceive me. This man is on his deathbed. It's horrific. How dare they lie to us? That when you don't want to see the president healthy, there's something really sick about that. When you weaponize the American government against an American citizen so that they will not become the president of the United States, that's pretty sick too, right? Different kind of sick, but pretty sick. All right, we can get to that more coming up. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch at Drew Steele Radio. A reminder, 8 o'clock, Dinesh D'Souza will join us. 8:35, Bill O'Reilly is going to join us as well. All right, let's do Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Caller number 5 right now. You want to play? Let's have a little bit of fun with Drew's College. Caller number 5 up next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
The crash in Cape Coral at Santa Barbara Boulevard and Wilmington Parkway is still shutting down Wilmington between Juanita Place and Santa Barbara. You'll have to use Northwest 32nd as your alternate. Also, there is a rollover crash reported on Bonita Beach Road at Oakland, and this is just to the west of I-75, and it's starting to slow traffic heading west to Livingston. Traffic also delayed in Estero on Williams heading eastbound towards Three Oaks. It's just near Estero High. And also a delay in Collier on Immokalee Road, of course, heading westbound towards the interstate. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Upper 80s to near 90 degrees for your Monday with clouds and sunshine, breezy at times with a chance for some occasional pop-up scattered rain and storms this afternoon and this evening. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Rush Limbaugh. The New York Times just published a column blaming Republicans for sowing doubts about the fairness of the presidential debates. One social media meme really annoyed the Times technology columnist Kevin Roose. It pictured President Trump taking on both Plugs Biden and a moderator, Chris Wallace, in a Street Fighter-style 2-on-1 brawl. The meme was retweeted by the president with over 1 million interactions. Now, Mr. Roose says the conservatives tried to paint Chris Wallace as a Trump hater because they mentioned that Wallace is a registered Democrat, which is true. Now, these same evil conservatives supposedly trying to cast doubt on the next scheduled debate by pointing out that the moderator, C-SPAN's Steve Scully, was once a Joe Biden intern. That's also true. Mr. Roose is outraged. Senator Ted Cruz called the choice of Scully nuts. Now, does anybody remember moderator Candy Crowley of CNN brazenly correcting Mitt Romney with a partisan argument during his 2012 debate with Obama? Or the 2016 debates when liberal moderators consistently ambushed Trump? They even took a little heat from their left-wing allies when that happened. Now, President Trump has never been treated fairly by the drive-by media or by Drive-by media players chosen to moderate debates. There's nothing new about it. He wins anyway, and that, my friends, is what ticks them off the most. You know, your monthly cell phone bill does not have to be an expensive proposition. Pure Talk USA gives you the same kind of coverage for far less money each month than the larger carriers. Pure Talk gives you the exact same coverage on the same towers as one of the larger carriers, but costs you half what you're likely paying now, with no contract and no excessive fees. Right now, enjoy unlimited talk, text, and 2 gigs of data, all for just $20 a month. The average person is saving $400 a year on their wireless bill. So do this. Grab your mobile phone, dial pound 250, and say Pure Talk. When you do, you'll save $250 off any iPhone, including the new iPhone SE. Dial pound 250 and say the keyword Pure Talk. Pure Talk USA, simply smarter wireless. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dialed text from Pure Talk USA.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News, the conservative, smart, right voice of Southwest Florida.
Now is the time to get countertops at Rock Solid. Why Rock Solid? How about Rock Solid's unbelievable prices? Full slabs of quartz from $599, granite $499, and remnants as low as $150. Rock Solid's vast selection of the finest stone from around the world. Rock Solid's award-winning customer service and installation in about a week. Want the best new countertops for your kitchen? The choice is simple. Rock Solid.
Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
When everything around us has been interrupted, including playtime, work time, and downtime, friends and family are always there to help pick up the pieces. At Castilla Roofing, we are here for our community, our employees, and you. Keeping a roof over your head is our job, our headache, and our promise to you. Castilla Roofing, family owned and operated. Your satisfaction is our reputation.
Go to CastillaRoofing.us, that's CASTILLA, or call 239-465-2646, license CCC 1328615.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Allison on Fort Myers Beach. Hello there, Allison on Fort Myers Beach.
Hey, Drew, at your station. Or you're at home or at the station?
I'm at the station. I'm here. It's okay. It's an odd way to start this. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question starts right now. Allison, I need you to name the 2 Democrat candidates, president and vice president, this year, 2020. Who are they?
Biden, Harris.
That is correct. All right, you got an associate's. See if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. Can you name 3 of the original 13 colonies? 3.
Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina.
All right, there you go. That is correct. All right, you got a bachelor's degree. We'll see. You went so fast. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. Do you remember where immigrants would get into the United States? They would enter in New York between 1890. That's correct. All right, that was fast. All right, you got a master's. We'll see if you get a PhD on this very question. The former Florida governor who ran for president when Donald Trump ran for president in 2016. Who was that former Florida governor?
Rick Scott?
No, it was Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush.
That was so long ago.
It was so long ago, and that is no excuse. But anyway, hey, listen, you got a master's degree today on Drew's College. Allison, stay right there because I know you wanted to ask a question as well, and I see you on my call screen. So maybe when we come back from break, we'll have you ask that question. So she got herself a master's degree. Again, Drew's College of Political Knowledge each day at 6:50 and 7:50. All right, when we come back, in case you missed it, we had quite the interview with Governor Ron DeSantis on Friday before we finished out the program, to the point where, let's just say, it got a little national attention. Why? Well, you'll hear and find out.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Drew Steele here, and hurricane season, it's upon us, and it's supposed to be a pretty active season for 2020. Get peace of mind from my friends at Generator Supercenter, the #1 Generac automatic standby generator dealer in the nation. You don't have to sweat the next outage. I've had my Generac for years. It is amazing. Get your free estimate on your Generac automatic standby generator today, in time for hurricane season, with expert installation and 24-hour monitoring. Generator Supercenter. Give them a shout at 204-3469. That's 204-3469. For Generator Supercenter.
People often ask me, how did you grow my shower door so big and so fast? But the answer is, we didn't. What we did is we took our family business, we hired great talent, trained our staff, and developed our product. Now, after 17 years, my shower door has 8 frameless shower door showrooms, with our newest in Cape Coral. If you're looking for a frameless shower door company that you can trust and research, and you want to see more, go to myshowerdor.com.
The debates continue.
I humbly accept your nomination to run and serve as Vice President of the United States.
I am incredibly honored by this responsibility, and I'm ready to get to work.
The vice presidential debate.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Follow this and all of the presidential debates brought to you by the Floormeisters in Naples, where smart shoppers cast their vote for quality flooring every day.
Pence versus Harris.
We made America great again.
Coverage starts at 9 p.m. Wednesday night, only on 92.5 Fox News.
Order. I go nuts when there's no order to things. Did you see that desk?
Some people cannot tolerate a lack of order. They always feel the need to put things into order, and sometimes that need is to a point that it is unrealistic. Perhaps there are repeated and unnecessary thoughts and worries. This is an obsessive-compulsive disorder. Fortunately, it is usually treatable, but people hide it. Don't hide. Ask for help.
More information is available at healthyminds.org. This message from the Florida Psychiatric Society.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. Today's the deadline to register to vote for the upcoming presidential election. You can register online with your county's supervisor of elections. Also today, Cape Coral City Council will vote whether or not to make more than $34 million in changes to the Cape Coral Yacht Club. Those changes include converting the pool into a small water park with a splash pad and water slide and adding a 3-story parking garage. Crews are gearing up for a new round of road work. Starting tonight at 8 o'clock, there will be north and southbound lane closures along State Road 31 at the Wilson-Piggott drawbridge over the Caloosahatchee. Crews are making those repairs to the bridge post and rail system damaged during a crash. The work will continue until 5 in the morning and will run every night through Thursday. President Trump tweeted another video Sunday night as he continues his recovery from COVID-19 at Walter Reed Medical Center. The president says he's feeling better. He even left the medical center for a short ride in his motorcade past supporters lined up outside the hospital who were wishing him a speedy recovery. Joe Biden is back in Florida today. He'll take part in a town hall meeting in Miami in front of a group of undecided voters. As for President Trump, members of his family are expected to be in Florida over the next 2 weeks as he still recovers from COVID-19. New information on a homicide investigation in Collier County. Deputies tell us the victim is a man. This happened Saturday along River Reach Drive. Other details about what exactly happened have not been released. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
A rollover crash reported at Bonita Beach Road in Oakland is slowing traffic getting off of the interstate westbound heading towards Livingston. So definitely give yourself lots of extra time. There's also a crash at Wilmington Parkway and Santa Barbara Boulevard in Cape Coral with roadblock complete shutdown on Wilmington between Juanita Place and Santa Barbara. You'll have to navigate around this by Northwest 32nd Street to Santa Barbara. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, especially this afternoon and this evening, there will be a chance for some occasional pop-up scattered storms passing by. Temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s, breezy at times. More chances for rain scattered across our area on Tuesday, Wednesday. Just a few Thursday, Friday. Chance of scattered storms for the weekend. More upper 80s and lower 90s as we avoid future Hurricane Delta in the Gulf of Mexico this week with its sights set on the northern Gulf Coast by Friday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com. Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Please visit us at www.onehourairnaples.com or call 844-1HOUR.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. I know you, as well as so many Americans, thinking about the president today, and I hope that you'll take a moment in time with me to pray for the president and the first lady for a swift and speedy recovery, and knowing how much the president has done for us, that together we will be thinking about him today.
Hope PACE is a comprehensive health and wellness program designed for seniors who want to get care in the comfort of their own home. With their help, you may be able to avoid unnecessary visits to the hospital or emergency room. Hope PACE provides all-inclusive medical care, transportation, and support by phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 239-985-2499 or visit hopepace.org. That's 239-985-2499 or hopepace.org.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License CCC 133-1790. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live on YouTube every day. Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. When you subscribe, helps to keep us going on Facebook and YouTube both. So if you enjoy watching, I appreciate that you would do that. I know there's a lot of, our text line is filled with a lot of conspiracy theories about the president. How in the world is it that all these, between Senator Mike Lee and Tom Tillis and the president and the first lady and all of these Republicans, Kellyanne Conway, but you don't hear of any Democrats that are getting, well, that's not really true. I mean, there have been Democrats that have tested positive. There are a lot of conspiracy theories that I'm looking at. I don't know if I can even, Jake's been reading the conspiracy theories about how everybody has been getting coronavirus conspicuously right at October. You know, Is that what you're thinking? Like October's surprise? Don't do that. Don't start getting into conspiracy theory talk.
They're not conspiracy theories. They're just theories.
He's convinced that these are just people who have a theory on what is going on. And let's theorize something else. Let's get away from that. Okay. We do know that coming up at 8 o'clock, Dinesh D'Souza will join us. So that will be a great conversation. He's got a new movie coming out called Trump Card. We'll talk about that. Plus, Bill O'Reilly at the bottom of the hour, 8:35. And he will be talking to us about the latest in his Killing series, great book, Killing Crazy Horse. We'll talk a little bit about that, but we will also get into the news of the day. So a fun 8 o'clock hour. Looking forward to that. If you missed our interview on Friday, just before the program ended with the governor of the great state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, I want to play a section of this because it made national headlines. I was getting all kinds of emails and texts over the weekend saying, hey, did you see this? Did you notice this? What in the world? What's going on here? The governor had a few things to say on this program and caught the attention of a lot of folks. We had first talked about his thoughts about the president and his well wishes for the president after receiving the positive COVID test. And then we talked about phase 3. And what about this phase 3 opening? The importance of getting back to work. And as we move forward, what this is going to look like here in the state of Florida.
Yeah, well, from the very beginning, we've had really three main focuses. One is protect the vulnerable. As you mentioned, there's a radical difference between a 20-year-old getting this and somebody who's 85 in a nursing home in terms of mortality. And so we've put a lot of resources behind protecting the vulnerable. Obviously, we also message to the broader senior community, and they take it really seriously and have done a good job in Florida. Two, we want to make sure we have enough medical resources and hospital capacity. Remember, when we started all this stuff, 15 days to slow the spread, 30 days, that was to prevent hospitals from being overwhelmed. Well, that we have not had that in Florida. When they've needed medication, we've sent it, PPE, you name it. Then three, and this is really important, you got to have a healthy society overall. Now, that part of that means other health problems need to be addressed because they don't go away. If you have heart problems, go in and get care. If you need immunizations for your kids, get it done. But also beyond that, we need people to be able to go to work, to put food on their table. We need K through 12 schools open so that kids get to have option for face-to-face instruction. So I've focused a lot on making sure society continues to function. I think you fight a pandemic better from that posture than if society's in the fetal position.
Yeah. Governor DeSantis joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. I might even make the case, Governor, and I'm sure you have talked to people about this. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how many people pick up on the fact that there is the other side of this pandemic, which is those that are not getting some of the care that they need, whether it's screening for cancer and what that means to our population as we move forward because of this. Some of the things that have to do with mental health and how important that is to focus on as well because of this pandemic. And dare I say that we need to talk about that as well. Some of those implications of the people who are ready to get back out to work, need to get back out to work, and not only that, need to get to their healthcare providers and to feel confident that they can do that because if they don't, there can be consequences on the other side that could be quite dire.
So if you look at when the panic really hit in mid-March, you started to see a big decline in ED visits for heart and stroke symptoms. Now, those things don't just go away. Those are ever present for us. And so you have people who were willing to suffer through maybe even heart attacks at home rather than go in to seek care because they thought they could catch coronavirus and die from that. And that is something that's been very, very harmful. Obviously, it's been stoked by the media, always trying to peddle fear and to scare people. It's had a real significant effect on health, as you mentioned. And so you talk to hospitals in Florida. I mean, we have massive amount of availability, and it's recovered some with people people being willing to go in, but it isn't where it needs to be. And so people just need to know the hospitals are safe. They have capacity. I mean, the media would say the hospitals are overflowing. It was just never true. So they have capacity. Go in if you need the care. But also, as you said, mental health. I mean, particularly for younger people, with not being in school, college students, younger people may have been thrown out of work. We're seeing even CDC is saying big increase in depression amongst those age groups. And then, look, we've worked so hard on opioids around the country and here in Florida, and I can tell you since March till now, we've lost a lot of ground again. I mean, that's just the reality, and it's something that you can't take your eye off the ball. So we're focusing on all of that. The virus is important. You got to have a response, but you can't do that and let all these other problems mount without also taking into account the damage that they could be doing.
Yeah. Governor, before we go, I have to ask you this because this is something that I've been talking about, as a homeschool family. I've had a different perspective on all of this when it comes to schools during COVID. We never stopped. We just kept going. For us, it was school as usual. But I have seen families and kids, like we just talked about, the mental health issues of kids who come home and now all of a sudden their school is upside down. It is not homeschool. It's schooling in a different location. And that is not something that's comfortable for kids or families in a lot of different ways. But you did mention something when you were on Trey's program a few weeks back. And I think this is an interesting prospect, and I wanted you to comment on this. We need to be back in schools. Kids need to be back in in-person learning. I think that's important. But also that I was always concerned about this idea that this super spreader situation, if the kids go back into school and we're going to have all of these issues, I don't see them. I don't see anybody talking about them. Doesn't seem like it exists. We were worried about.
In fact, what I would say is, I mean, look, in hindsight, in March we may not have had all the information, but in hindsight, knowing what we know now, the closure of schools was one of the biggest public health mistakes in modern American history. And I think even Europe have said we shouldn't have closed them. And so when we were coming on this school year, we started saying, parents are going to have the option to go back face-to-face. That was kind of at the height of the outbreak in July in Florida when people were like, oh, my gosh, how could you do that? Well, one, we knew the outbreak was going to abate because that's the natural cycle of the virus. But two, we also know that the evidence is in on this. The kids are not vectors of coronavirus spread. They are vectors of the flu. And I think a lot of people look at that and say, oh, schools with flu. It doesn't operate that way. And so the evidence is in on this. And even the Washington Post ran an article saying school openings haven't led to viral spread across the country. I think USA Today did something about Florida and admitted that. That was probably very difficult for them to admit, but they did. And so now we're at the point where the people who advocate school closures are really the flat earthers of our day. They're not doing it based on data. They're not doing it based on evidence. They're doing it based on either politics or emotion. And so the harm of school closures, I think, is really, really considerable. I think getting the kids back in has been very important. We finally have Miami-Dade going back on Monday. They're one of the largest school districts in the country. And so we'll have between 1 million, 1.5 million kids in person, face-to-face in the state of Florida. And I think you need to do that. Look, I'm a big supporter of homeschooling for those who want to do it. But, we've got a lot of blue-collar families and working mothers who have to go to work. They just don't have the luxury of being able to do that. Taking away face-to-face instruction for them means their kids fall behind tremendously, and not just with academics, social development, all these other things that are so important. So I'm glad that parents in Florida have that option, and also some of the things that kids do. I mean, athletics. We got kids playing football. We've got girls playing volleyball. I mean, this stuff is important to their development. Yet a lot of people in Florida at the time when this was being debated saying kids shouldn't be playing any sports. They should just be doing nothing. That would have been disastrous had we gone down that road.
That is the governor of the great state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, who joined us on Friday. Some of the comments about school and phase 3 opening, and some interesting comments, as you could tell, some that made national headlines, and the flat earther comment was awesome. But at the end, one thing that I touched on that I think is important as well, and it's this. We know what the politics of the day is. And unfortunately, the politics of the day is tribalism, it's division, it is It is not coming together. It's something that I do want to talk to Dinesh D'Souza about next hour. He'll join us at 8 o'clock, as we talk about his movie Trump Card and even about socialism and how we are so divided right now. It's almost as if we have a problem in this country of recognizing not just the greatness of the country from its founding and everything that we offer, and how I'm sure Dinesh can speak to being an immigrant and coming to this country and all the things that you are afforded in this country, unlike any other place, but also how fractured we are and how there are people in academia and even liberals who just don't believe in the country. They just don't believe in what America stands for, and even the idea that in this country that you can do anything and be anything you want to be. But why? Why is it that where socialism is so rejected around the world time after time after time, that there are people in this country that are thinking, what, because we're Americans, we can do it better? What's the thinking? So I wanted to get to that, but also how when it comes to the state of Florida and what the governor was talking about in schools, and how I am concerned that when you have people that are has such deep hatred for the president, deep hatred for Republicans, deep hatred for the governor, that if the governor makes a decision that is truly, truly beneficial to kids, that truly will benefit your kids and my kids, that there are those that are so vitriolic and so polarized and so against Republicans and the president that they will vote against something that would benefit your kids just because they hate the governor that much. And it's a fact. And I'm not even saying that this isn't even speculating or dreaming up some scenario. It's a fact. And you know it and I know it. And that's where my concern comes in. That because you would have such TDS syndrome. You would be so polarized against people that you would vote against your own child's best interest. 239-479-5592. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic, here's Sabrina Katz.
A crash at mile marker 123 traveling southbound, really slowing traffic. Unfortunately, it's one of those mornings, 3 miles of creep and crawl delays. So starting south of Corkscrew down towards Bonita Beach Road, avoid the interstate, just stick to 41 or Three Oaks Parkway. There's also a crash with reports of about 3 vehicles involved at Cypress Lake and Winkler Road, roadblock on Winkler Road, and delays building heading westbound towards McGregor Boulevard. College Parkway is crash-free and going to be a faster option. Also, a crash in the Cape at Wilmington Parkway in Santa Barbara, still shutting down Wilmington between Juanita Place and Santa Barbara. Northwest 32nd is your alternate. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Upper 80s to near 90 degrees for your Monday with clouds and sunshine, breezy at times with a chance for some occasional pop-up scattered rain and storms this afternoon and this evening. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel.
True Steel, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
See, I like state-of-the-art. I like equipment, for example, to test your water like Pentair uses. There's a big difference. When Max comes over and tests your water, they use Pentair's more scientific equipment instead of that old-fashioned chemical way, which means you get better results. And the Pentair salt-free combo has a lot more advantages. It's the one that I have. It's practically maintenance-free. Just pop in a new filter each year, and it's easy. There's no lugging in bags of salt every month, and no timers, no electricity, no saltwater waste, no hassles. And Pentair's salt-free smart combo means you won't be putting in dangerous sodium into that water as well. So if you've got problems with your water in your home, smells bad, tastes bad, call now for your free Pentair water test. Call Max. He's your local Pentair water specialist. He can show you exactly what's in your home's water with their new white glove service program. They can even maintain the system for you. And right now, take $199 off installation of your whole home water system. So call them today, 239-880-7799. That's 880-7799. Call today.
And now a word from Dr. Johnston at 596-BACK.
Across the country, there has been a major increase in the number of back and neck pain cases. Most researchers attribute it to a decrease in the amount of activity people have been getting. This leads to pinched or compressed spinal nerves. These same nerves go down into people's legs and arms. I've especially noticed this among those with stenosis, arthritis, or bulging herniated discs. This pain, weakness, or numbness should not be ignored. Action needs to be taken. If you suffer from one of these conditions, or even scoliosis or neuropathy, it's important to get your condition correctly diagnosed and treated. At Johnston Spinal Care, we treat these conditions non-surgically, without needles or medications, using spinal decompression, completely safe and painless. Call today for a no-charge telephone consultation or MRI review. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Son, get in the car.
No, Dad, not your car. It smells horrid and it looks awful. I'm scared, Dad. I'm really scared.
Galliana Kia in Fort Myers will get you out of your scary old car and into a 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease for just $49 per month. Yes, $49 a month for a new car. We've got to sell so many new Kias, it's scary. So we've slashed our prices to the bone. New 2020 Kia Rio LX, just $13,990. New Kia Sorento LX V6, $8,000 off. Select models with interest-free financing for 75 months. Is your credit dreadful? Galliana Kia isn't afraid of your bad credit. 2020 Kia Rio, $13,990. New Kia Fortes, $49 per month.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana Kia.
Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 24 month lease, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 due at signing plus tax title dealer and acquisition fee. 0 security deposit with lender approval expires month 5.
Dial star 2020. Friends, I care.
Trey Riddle, your host of The Drive here. Do you have your COVID mask on? Do you wear your mask with glasses? Maybe you've experienced, as Dr. France calls it, the fog. Oh man, it's terrible. Even if you're not doing prescription, just sunglasses, it's horrible. So it's unwanted, it's horrible, and it's just frustrating as heck. You need to check out Laser Vision Correction with France Eye Care. I did the LASIK procedure with them, and it changed my life. Dr. France and his team of expert surgeons offer several different procedures like LASIK, like I had. Visian ICL, PRK, refractive lens exchange, and more. It gives you better vision with a design that meets the needs of your individual eyes. Call today for a free LASIK screening. Just dial ** 2020 on your mobile phone, ** 2020, or give them a shout 239-418-0999.
Friends, I care.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Do it.
Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steve.
And these guys and the women of the Secret Service are the ones that had the nerve to do it. So to these media buffoons, you clowns, who don't know the first thing about honor, dignity, or courage. I know you wouldn't get in that car with the president with a mask or a full bubble suit because you're chumps and cowards and spineless losers. We all know that. But don't you dare utter the word Secret Service again, because you know nothing about these men or women, why they do what they do, how they wound up in that car, why they did it, and they do it again tomorrow. So how about you just shut your mouths, put your caboose in a chair, and sit this one out?
There's our friend Dan Bongino on Fox and Friends this morning, going after the media buffoons for criticizing the Secret Service who drove the president to thank supporters outside Walter Reed. It's like, you all need to sit this one out. He puts it in a different way, but, you know, Dan does his thing like nobody else can. So there you go. President looks like he's feeling a lot better, by the way. It's been a tweet storm in the past half an hour. My goodness, you got to see some of the things he's writing. It's unreal.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part? The price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Naples, and Marco Island. With 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you.
The Advantage program from Service Experts Heating and Air Conditioning takes the stress out of maintaining your home comfort system. Pay no money down, one low monthly rate, and nothing for maintenance and repairs. The Advantage program from Service Experts Heating and Air Conditioning. Learn more at 866-EXPERTS or ServiceExpertsFortMyers.com. See website for license details.
92.5 Fox News.
Donald Trump Jr. joining us.
Where the Trumps come to talk.
They won't face consequences. The difference is, if I did, I'd be doing this interview right now from a payphone feeding quarters from Rikers.
Election 2020 on 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Now more than ever, it's essential to have a primary care provider ready to care for you. Book your first appointment through Millennium Physician Group's telehealth service, MPG Connect, and get established with a care team who'll be there for you wherever and whenever you need. Primary and specialty care, walk-in centers, lab services, imaging centers, and COVID-19 evaluation and testing. Connect with Millennium Physician Group today and be ready for tomorrow. 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG. MillenniumPhysician.com.
Customers have said they thought our trade-in offer here at Naples Nissan was too good to be true. So, before they drove their new Nissan home, we asked a few of them to share their story. Here's Tracy from Cape Coral.
My 2012 Camry had about 78,000 miles on it. I heard Naples Nissan was offering MSRP for your trade-in, but I was a little skeptical. After I called them and checked out their website, everything seemed legit, so I decided to go for it. The original MSRP for my car was just over $19,000, and I thought, no way, that's how much I'm actually getting. So happy I was wrong, and now I get to drive home in my brand new Altima. It's the real deal, people. Totally worth the drive.
If your trade-in is less than 8 years old with less than 80,000 miles on it, come get the full base MSRP for it and drive home in a brand new Nissan today. Only at Naples Nissan. Full details at naplesnissan.com. Offer on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
This Wink News Break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. Today's the deadline to register to vote for the upcoming presidential election. You can register online with your county's supervisor of elections. Also today, Cape Coral City Council will vote whether or not to make more than $34 million in changes to the Cape Coral Yacht Club. Those changes include converting the pool into a small water park with a splash pad and water slide and adding a 3-story parking garage. Crews are gearing up for a new round of road work. Starting tonight at 8 o'clock, there will be north and southbound lane closures along State Road 31 at the Wilson Piggott Drawbridge over the Caloosahatchee. Crews are making those repairs to the bridge post and rail system damaged during a crash. The work will continue until 5 in the morning and will run every night through Thursday. President Trump tweeted another video Sunday night as he continues his recovery from COVID-19 at Walter Reed Medical Center. The president says he's feeling better. He even left the medical center for a short ride in his motorcade past supporters lined up outside the hospital who were wishing him a speedy recovery. Joe Biden is back in Florida today. He'll take part in a town hall meeting in Miami in front of a group of undecided voters. As for President Trump, members of his family are expected to be in Florida over the next 2 weeks as he still recovers from COVID-19. New information on a homicide investigation in Collier County. Deputies tell us the victim is a man. This happened Saturday along River Reach Drive. Other details about what exactly happened have not been released. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
A crash at mile marker 123 traveling southbound, really slowing traffic. Unfortunately, it's one of those mornings, 3 miles of creep and crawl delays. So starting south of Corkscrew down towards Bonita Beach Road, avoid the interstate, just stick to 41 or Three Oaks Parkway. There's also a crash with reports of about 3 vehicles involved at Cypress Lake and Winkler Road, roadblock on Winkler Road, and delays building heading westbound towards McGregor Boulevard. College Parkway is crash-free and going to be a faster option. Also, a crash in the Cape at Wilmington Parkway in Santa Barbara, still shutting down Wilmington between Juanita Place and Santa Barbara. Northwest 32nd is your alternate. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, especially this afternoon and this evening, there will be a chance for some occasional pop-up scattered storms passing by. Temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s, breezy at times. More chances for rain scattered across our area on Tuesday, Wednesday, just a few Thursday, Friday. Chance of scattered storms for the weekend, more upper 80s and lower 90s as we avoid future Hurricane Delta in the Gulf of Mexico this week with its sights set on the northern Gulf Coast by Friday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News.
We are going to make America great again.
Right. All along.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
If you struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired. Forgetful.
Who put this banana in the toaster?
You did?
Cool, okay, just checking.
And even impact your health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Hello, I'm Dr. D'Amico. When going to the dentist, I know you have a lot of choices, but I would like to invite you to my office. We do cleanings and fillings, plus crowns, dentures, and implants, all in one location. So call me, Dr. D'Amico, for our new patient specials, 234-5284. That's 234-5284. Do you need a denture? Well, I have a denture lab on site, which means that you can have a new denture in just a few days. If you go anywhere else, it will take a few months. That's right, a few months to get your new denture. Do you need dental implants? If you need one implant or a full mouth of implants, don't just go to any dentist. Have your implants done by somebody who performs implant surgery every day. Do you already have an estimate for needed dental work? Don't have your dental work done without a second opinion, especially implant treatment. So call and ask for our radio specials for new patient exam, dentures, and especially implants. Don't regret not getting a second opinion. Call me, Dr. D'Amico. I want to help. 234-5284. That's 234-5284. License DN 15639.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592. The talk and text line. Streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. Coming up at 8 o'clock, Dinesh D'Souza will join us, I believe, for the whole half an hour, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be fantastic. Cannot wait. And then at 8:35, Bill O'Reilly will be joining us. These are our scheduled guests for 8 o'clock, so we're looking forward to that. We'll talk about his latest in the Killing series, the book, Killing Crazy Horse, and then, of course, the news of the day. So that is going to be a lot of fun. What isn't a lot of fun is the way the media has been going after the president and others, liberals out there, not exactly wishing well for the president. It's been pretty vile and disgusting over the weekend. And then we find out that the medical experts deemed the president safe to make that trip outside of Walter Reed Medical Center. After the proper precautions were taken, according to the White House, appropriate precautions were taken in the execution of the movement to protect the president and all those supporting it, including PPE. The movement was cleared by the medical team as safe to do. So the medical team was saying it's okay for the president to make that ride along in front of Walter Reed as he circled around the well-wishers out there, the thousands wishing the president well. Of course, the media is beside themselves. They cannot believe this could possibly be happening. How dare they do this? It was just, a few minutes ago, we brought this up as Dan Bongino was on with Fox and Friends this morning, and I want to see if I can find this now. Of course, let's see if I can find it. Because in that same interview, Ainsley Earhardt made what I thought was an interesting observation in all of this that seems to be missed. And here's what she said. Let's see, during the interview just a few minutes ago on Fox and Friends. And she made the point, and it's true. She says,
I did hear someone say, we don't even know the situation of those Secret Service individuals. They might have already had COVID, or maybe there's plexiglass in between the front seat and the back seat, like all the New York City taxi cabs and Ubers.
Well, Ainsley, you, God forbid, like you're actually asking sensible questions.
That's like, yeah, don't do that. Stop. No. Don't ask sensible questions. You got to go off the rails. It's the only way that it makes sense to people is just go completely off the rails. Please don't go off the rails. So, yeah, who's to say what kind of protections were taken? The assumption is there were none. How dare you put the lives... Okay, calm down. Just calm down. So, we got a little bit of that. Also, oh gosh, where was that one story that I wanted to touch on before we go to your calls? 239-479-5592. Oh, here it is. You know, and we had the governor on Friday. We replayed a portion of the conversation we had with him, talking about phase 3 and talking about the reopening of schools, how important it is. So a Stanford University professor was part of a roundtable, a virtual roundtable with the governor and several other public health experts, Jay Bhattacharya, and he's been a critic of the lockdowns. And he says,
if you really want zero COVID, if you get zero COVID, I mean, I don't know if it's even technically feasible, but we know that we're going to have to destroy our society in order to get it. We'll have to get rid of all of our freedoms. We'll have to make sure that very few people interact with each other. It essentially is so high a cost that it's not worth it.
Yeah, so let me just stop there. Because when he said that is interesting that he brings that up, that it's not worth it. The cost would be so high to our freedoms. And you might say, well, really? I mean, it's all about public health. I mean, wearing a mask, we have definitive evidence that would show that when you wear a mask, you can't get the virus. Said no one, because we don't. But that's not even that's just part of the point. Because if you were listening to the argument, Steve Cortez and Chris Wallace yesterday on Fox News Sunday, you heard that interesting comment made by Chris Wallace at the end of what was a contentious interview about the family not being masked up at the debates and how dare they do this, not following the rules.
Chris, the way you're starting to harangue me now actually reminds me of what you did to the president during that debate on Tuesday night when he had to debate not just Joe. No, and then he had to debate not just Joe Biden, but you as well. You were not a neutral moderator then. I don't mind tough questions. I welcome reasonably tough questions, but what I don't think is okay is for you to become the effective opposition to the president. Okay, and everyone there was tested in the crowd. They were distanced from each other.
Okay, now here is the payoff. Listen to this carefully. Because then Steve Cortez says to Chris Wallace,
people can make reasonable decisions for themselves.
No, they can't. They're the rules, and they'll be kicked out next time.
It's rules. It's rules, everybody. You'll be kicked out next time. When Steve Cortez makes the statement that you can make reasonable choices for yourself about your health, knowing who you are, what your risks are, what your medical condition is that nobody else knows. You know all of these things. You can make this decision for yourself. You're responsible enough, right? You don't need somebody to tell you no, do you? Do we really need a nanny state? Do we have to? You can only have this much soda on a daily basis, and you can only do that. Really, when does personal responsibility come into anything? Forget about COVID, anything in your life. Does it for you liberals at all? Or do you need everybody to hold your hand and walk you through life because you could never figure it out by yourself? I'm just asking. And Chris Wallace says, oh, no. Now, that may be a comment that went by the wayside and people didn't really think about it specifically. But I did, because what it said to me is what we were just arguing. I mean, how much are you willing to give up? The cost would be so high that it's not worth it. That's what Jay Bhattacharya said during that virtual roundtable with the governor, talking about the COVID lockdowns and mitigation measures What are we trying to do? 30 days to stop the spread, or are we trying to get rid of COVID completely? Is that what you're trying to do? Because you're not going to. Who was it? Wasn't it? Oh, goodness, who said it? I want to say Dr. Fauci said it, but no, it wasn't. I don't remember who it was. But so just an interesting question. All right. Allison's on Fort Myers Beach. She's been holding patiently. She's been dying to ask this question. You have been holding patiently, and I have no idea if I know the answer, but what's your question? Because we have a very wise audience, and they may know more than I do. So go ahead.
Well, I want you to find out if this is true. I got some information earlier today on Facebook that somebody posted that in Lee County, if you do trick-or-treating, if you have candy out, there are going to be sheriff's officers around and that you could get fined $5,000.
Whoa, wait.
No. This is on. That's the reason why I said it's a rumor or whatever. But I'm getting it to the source that can find this stuff out.
Oh boy.
Because doing trick or treating around the neighborhoods is actually safer than going to the mall or going to all these places where they have the churches have the things together, because that's a confined space and everything. And so you would think that trick or treating with just your kids and walking around to different houses and everybody wearing masks if they need to would be much more safer than the other things that they're wanting that they say to do. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, well, all right. So you're trying to find out whether or not Lee County is going to fine individuals on Halloween if they do trick or treat with the kids coming up to the door and you dropping with your hands, dropping off the candy in the back. Is that what you're suggesting? That there's a $5,000? I did not hear anything about that at all. Jake's looking it up right now, so he's studying.
Or if you're taking your kids around trick or treating, they could get in trouble for that because you're child endangerment, and that could even get CDF involved.
Oh, all right. All right, so Allison has the question. Allison, thank you for holding on Fort Myers Beach. So there's the question for you. Do you know anything about this? Any of you Lee County commissioners who listen on a daily basis want to comment on this? I don't think that's true. Although we got to come up with some creative ways to conduct Halloween. I mean, look, we all want to do it. And if we're going to be responsible and we understand how serious COVID is, then we should have some fun with this. For example, my thought is that the government should buy everybody an RC car, Jake. And on the back of the RC car should be a little basket. And from your house, you RC the car up to your radio-controlled car. You take to the end of the driveway or wherever you are, and you drive the vehicle up to the child, and they can take the candy out like that. So you're completely distancing, and you got to be gloved. And I say the government provides it. That's it. So an RC car, radio-controlled car for everybody, so that we can conduct a safe and healthy Halloween. Who's with me? Yes. I mean, it's better than tossing the candy at kids. Unless it's an apple. Because an apple is... How many of you give fresh fruit for Halloween? How many of you do that? Because I know when I was a kid, there were families that did that. Oh, and we remembered the house. Not suggesting it's a bad idea. I'm not saying that if you gave an apple to a child... Well, it's weird that I would say that when we were kids, people did that. And it wasn't as strange as it is to mention it now. But we knew where you lived and where your house was, because we just thought that's the worst thing you could give to somebody for Halloween. And everybody recognized it, and then we just skipped your house. Maybe that was your plan. Somebody said a potato gun. No, potato guns that hurts. You can't shoot candy at kids with a potato. All right, we're getting a lot of strange texts coming in about that. All right, enough. 239-479-5592. All right, a reminder coming up next hour, scheduled to be on the program, Dinesh D'Souza at 8:05, Bill O'Reilly at 8:35. So that is coming up. And I guess right now we could do it. Why not? Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. If you would like to play Drew's College right now, let's do it. Caller number 5 at 239-479-5592. We'll take caller number 5. You get to play Drew's College. Let's have a little bit of fun next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along, here's traffic with Sabrina Katz.
A crash on 75 southbound at mile marker 123 is delaying traffic for over 3 miles. If you're heading south of Corkscrew, you know the deal. Avoid the interstate 41 or Three Oaks, the better alternates. Also, a crash reported at Bass Road in Summerlin. Now, this is as you're heading northbound on Bass from Summerlin, so just make sure to tap on those brakes. It is off to the side of the roadway. A crash at Cypress Lake and Winkler Road as well, with westbound roadblock on Cypress Lake, heading towards McGregor Boulevard. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Upper 80s to near 90 degrees for your Monday with clouds and sunshine, breezy at times with a chance for some occasional pop-up scattered rain and storms this afternoon and this evening. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
I'm Harvey Massey. Think about this for a moment. Pest control involves applying pesticides inside your home, whether needed or not. At Massey Services, we just don't do that. We prevent pests from getting inside your home, so we won't have to control them later. Why settle for pest control when you can trust Massey's Pest Prevention? It's guaranteed or your money back. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Eye Centers of Florida is not only where more Southwest Florida eye specialists got their beginnings, they also represent more than 4 decades of visionary excellence. Our HD cataract technology allows us to customize your procedure in order to give you the clearest possible results. Nothing compares to the expertise and compassion of the first name in total eye care, Dr. David C. Brown's Eye Centers of Florida. Clearly the right choice.
If you're curious about who may be out there but don't want to jump into anything right away, then take a fun step and just take a look at Our Time. Our Time is the #1 dating site for singles over 50. It's easy to use and can help you find a partner to share in a new activity you've been wanting to try. Take a walk or just meet someone new. Check it out. Start for free today. Go to ourtime.com. That's ourtime.com. Start for free at ourtime.com.
ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter finds the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists.
And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
How many client portfolios is your investment advisor responsible for? Is yours one of hundreds? Or perhaps your financial institution has just been acquired by yet another firm, and the team you've known for years is suddenly gone. At the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company and its division, the Naples Trust Company, our portfolio management team is local and care for a proper ratio of account relationships designed to give you the highest possible attention and an asset allocation that is best for you and your goals. Another key factor is that all of our employees are owners in the trust company through an employee stock ownership plan. So we have no interest in being acquired, and more importantly, we have a vested interest in seeing our clients as happy as we are. Are you ready for a better experience? Contact us at the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company or the Naples Trust Company. Visit sancaptrustco.com to discover the difference.
Not FDIC insured. All investments involve risk and are not guaranteed.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Patrick in Cape Coral. Hello there, Patrick. How are you today?
I'm
Doing good. How are you?
I'm fine. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question starts right now. Hey, Patrick, in 2005, George W. Bush was president of the United States. Who was the vice president?
Dick Cheney.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got an associate's, a bachelor's degree on this question. A senator, when they're elected for how many years in office?
2.
No, 6 years. Senator. You're thinking House of Representative, but that's all right. We'll see if we get a bachelor's on this question. Can you name 2 rights or freedoms from the First Amendment?
Freedom of speech and freedom of religion.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. How many in the Bush family have campaigned for the presidency? How many in the Bush family have campaigned for the presidency?
I'll say 4.
It's been 3.
I can think of 3, but I'll go 4.
Yeah, you should have said 3. You should have said 3, Patrick. You always go with your first thought.
I thought there was a hidden bush.
There may be. All right. Well, congratulations. You got something. You got a degree. You got a bachelor's or master's. I don't know what you got, but you did well, Patrick. Congratulations. Stay right there, my friend. We appreciate you. All right, Patrick in Cape Coral on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, getting himself a hard-earned something. I think a bachelor's degree today. All right, 239-479-5592, 8 o'clock. Well, actually, 8:05. We'll have Dinesh D'Souza on with us. 8:35 scheduled. Bill O'Reilly as well. Both scheduled to join us next hour. That's coming up. Also, I'm getting a lot of emails and calls about this. Yes, apparently, Lee County, the school board, is going to make a big decision tomorrow whether they should recognize October as LGBT History Month. Just letting you know that I'm getting a lot of emails on this, a lot of texts on this, to let you know that that is happening. Looking at some of the things that are being said in this article, really important for LGBTQ young kids to know that they're accepted, and in their schools, this is especially important. Well, we can accept them without having to have a history month. Is that right? We can do that as individuals, can we not? Just asking. So you have an opportunity to make your voice heard, I'm assuming. And keep an eye on this, because this is just something that, ultimately when you look at the school board and what our kids are being taught and whether or not you're concerned about it and whether or not you even know about it, that this is the kind of thing where you do have a voice, you do have a say in this, and to keep an eye on who's voting yes for this and why. I'm just looking about they're talking about it's about acceptance. Isn't that what this is about? Well, we can do that, teach acceptance and inclusion in our homes, in our houses, and we can handle that. And why do we have to have a whole history month? And then what does that look like? And what does the study look like? And what does the teaching look like? And what is everything geared toward? And how are your kids going to be taught? And what are they going to be told is right and wrong? And if they think differently than what is being taught, is there a problem here? And could they be on the other side of what we're told they're trying to get rid of? I'm just asking these questions. You do have a say. It is your school district. So Lee County apparently doing this. And tomorrow's the day. And I'm going to keep an eye on this and let you know. And by the way, I probably should. Well, we'll get into that later on, because I know I'm looking at the time. All right, coming up, Dinesh D'Souza, 8:35, Bill O'Reilly. Might ask about that too. There is something to be said about what is happening with our education system and what our kids are being taught, and even what they're not being taught and how they're being taught about our country.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Jake DeMolino here from Daybreak to talk about AMCO of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue, a lot of you know about. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission that was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. AMCO of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative AMCO dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, normal maintenance, tires, you name it. For those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO of Bonita Springs. 239-992-2626. 239-992-2626. A big thank you from Jake the Millennial for AMCO of Bonita Springs.
The pain level was over 10. There's days where I just sat and cried and asked the good Lord to take me. And my doctor recommended that I go to Good Feet and try the arch supports. So I put the arch supports in and took about 3-4 steps. Turned around and went and sat back down and started to cry. It was the first time that I had no pain.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Dave actually live the life they envision without their feet getting in the way.
Since then, I've been doing so many things with my children. I went hiking this last summer with my daughter, something that I never thought was possible because I couldn't walk. There's people out there that made a product that changed people's lives. I am not an actor. I am an individual father and wanted to share his testimony with other people out there about my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by CFS Roofing. Online at cfsroofing.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. Today's the deadline to register to vote for the upcoming presidential election. You can register online with your county's supervisor of elections. Also today, Cape Coral City Council will vote whether or not to make more than $34 million in changes to the Cape Coral Yacht Club. Those changes include converting the pool into a small water park with a splash pad and water slide and adding a 3-story parking garage. Crews are gearing up for a new round of road work. Starting tonight at 8 o'clock, there will be north and southbound lane closures along State Road 31 at the Wilson Piggott Drawbridge over the Caloosahatchee. Crews are making those repairs to the bridge post and rail system damaged during a crash. The work will continue until 5 in the morning and will run every night through Thursday. President Trump tweeted another video Sunday night as he continues his recovery from COVID-19 at Walter Reed Medical Center. The president says he's feeling better. He even left the medical center for a short ride in his motorcade past supporters lined up outside the hospital who were wishing him a speedy recovery. Joe Biden is back in Florida today. He'll take part in a town hall meeting in Miami in front of a group of undecided voters. As for President Trump, members of his family are expected to be in Florida over the next 2 weeks as he still recovers from COVID-19. New information on a homicide investigation in Collier County. Deputies tell us the victim is a man. This happened Saturday along River Reach Drive. Other details about what exactly happened have not been released. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
A crash on 75 southbound at mile marker 123 is delaying traffic for over 3 miles. If you're heading south of Corkscrew, you know the deal. Avoid the interstate 41 or 3 Oaks, the better alternates. Also, a crash reported at Bass Road in Summerlin. Now, this is as you're heading northbound on Bass from Summerlin, so just make sure to tap on those brakes. It is off to the side of the roadway. A crash at Cypress Lake and Winkler Road as well, with westbound roadblock on Cypress Lake heading towards McGregor Boulevard. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, especially this afternoon and this evening, there will be a chance for some occasional pop-up scattered storms passing by. Temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s, breezy at times. More chances for rain scattered across our area on Tuesday, Wednesday, just a few Thursday, Friday. Chance of scattered storms for the weekend, more upper 80s and lower 90s as we avoid future Hurricane Delta in the Gulf of Mexico this week with its sights set on the northern Gulf Coast by Friday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along. The debates continue.
I humbly accept your nomination to run and serve as Vice President of the United States.
I am incredibly honored by this responsibility, and I'm ready to get to work.
The vice presidential debate.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Follow this and all of the presidential debates brought to you by the Floor Meisters in Naples, where smart shoppers cast their vote for quality flooring every day.
Pence versus Harris.
We made America great again.
Coverage starts at 9 p.m. Wednesday night, only on 92.5 Fox News.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor, the Pool Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. Your old pool pump is an energy hog and likely your second greatest user of electricity. We'll install a new Pentair energy-efficient pump, saving you over $500 a year. We're a family company, and for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133. State certified CPC 057088.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive. Here at 92.5 Fox News, we send our thoughts and prayers to the entire Trump family. And Mr. President, we pray for a speedy recovery. We hope to see you back at it soon.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
Are you ready to embark on your healthcare journey? At Millennium Physician Group, we want you, our patient, to be in good health always. That's why we created our Destination Health New Patient Program. It's all about partnering with your primary care provider to achieve the best healthcare outcome for you. Now, are you ready for the journey of your life? Connect with Millennium Physician Group and be on your way to Destination Health. Call 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch at Drew Steele Radio. We do appreciate that as well, that you would be watching, and I appreciate a few minutes of time right now with Dinesh D'Souza, who is joining us on Daybreak. We've got so much to talk about, including Trump card. This is so exciting. He's done it again, everybody. That's what I have to say. First of all, Dinesh D'Souza, it is Drew Steele. How are you this morning, sir? I'm so glad you're here.
Hey, I'm doing great, and thank you. Good to be on the show.
I'll tell you that one of the things that you have done again, as someone, a filmmaker, someone who's a New York Times bestselling author, is have brought to the American conscience and the public, again, the concerns that many of us have had as you have gone through with your documentaries, as you have Trump card right now, and I want to talk about that too. But before we get into Trump card, I have to ask you, with everything that is going on right now, I'm just wondering, how did we get to this place? How did we get to, it seems like this steady ramping up of this moment in time where it really does feel for many people that the worries of socialism are tangible now, where before it just seemed like words, but now it feels like it's at the doorstep?
It does seem like a paradox because not only was socialism completely discredited in the last century, but moreover, we're living in an age of technological capitalism. Some of the very people who champion socialism, if you were to say to them, hey, would you give up your iPhone and your GPS and stop using the Airbnb and, not use all these wonderful devices that have been coughed up by modern technological capitalism, they would give you a funny look. They have no intention of giving any of that up. But what they want on top of that is, hey, how about free college? Hey, how about free healthcare? Hey, how about universal basic income so I get a check for doing nothing every month? So what's happened is that the Democrats have deployed as a political strategy the idea of robbing Peter to pay Paul with the intention of trying to get Paul's vote.
Right. And so now as we look at what is happening with Trump Card, talk a little bit about the documentary, about the movie. Talk a little bit about what we might see and why it is that it's like, why Trump Card? It's such a great title. You know, you almost feel as if when I see Trump Card, I think of this is the option that we all have to get out of what could possibly be.
So the movie lays out, as I think any good narrative should, a problem and a solution. And the problem is simple, and that is the United States of socialism. That's the goal of the Democratic left. A lot of the craziness that they're doing from Antifa, Black Lives Matter, even some of the machinations of the deep state, those are the means. But what is the end? What is the objective? Well, I think the objective is to move the United States dramatically in a socialist direction. And even though Joe Biden says, I'm not a socialist, I beat the socialist, the truth of it is, first of all, he didn't beat the socialist. The Democrats pushed all the other candidates out of the race to make room for Biden. And the second thing is that Biden is on board. He's moving in the same direction as Bernie and has adopted many of Bernie Sanders' programs. Now, the other thing is that the left doesn't just care about economic confiscation. They also want moral revolution. They want cultural transformation, and they want forced national conformity. They want us to ultimately submit to them and live our lives the way they say. They want to tell us what to think, what to write, what to say, how to worship, whether we can own a gun. So all the Bill of Rights, they think, is up for democratic referendum, and they get to control it. In fact, they've been controlling it to a degree under coronavirus. So that's the threat.
Yeah.
And the reason I call the movie Trump Card is I think Trump is the leader of the fight against socialism. So we discuss the very implausible and interesting history of Trump and how he, this implausible man who came out from outside the political sector, has somehow become the guy. And both sides agree, I think even the guys voting for Biden are the guys who are voting against Trump. So Trump defines the debate, and that's why it's appropriate to call the movie Trump Card.
Yeah. Could anybody that you could think of garner the kind of attention that he does in this day and age right now? There are people that are looking globally and even wonder, even what happens after Trump. I mean, I hate to go that far out and think of it because I don't know what that world looks like. It feels as if Donald Trump, as president of the United States, has opened it up for many individuals to now see things about the world, what's happening in this country, what's happening with socialism in ways that they never thought of, including how he uses social media.
Absolutely. He's actually teaching the Republican Party how to fight. I saw yesterday some glimpses of a debate between the Republican incumbent Senator Joni Ernst and her opponent, Teresa Greenfield.
I saw that tweet, yep.
Yeah, and so basically Ernst, goes full savage on Greenfield and just attacks her, but based on facts, one fact after the other. And you can see that Greenfield is sort of dazed. because she's expecting the usual kind of Republican namby-pamby stuff, and here she gets a sort of Trump-style attack, and it completely floors her. So I think what Trump is showing is that, look, he's telling the Republican Party, we're not in the Reagan era anymore. The other side has become gangsterized, and we have to sort of do to them what they're doing to us. Otherwise, they will never stop.
Yeah.
So I think Trump is a transformational figure, and certainly the world after Trump, well, it's going to be less entertaining. We're going to be going from color to black and white.
Dinesh D'Souza joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. His new movie is Trump Card. It's one that I would highly recommend, along with everything else he's ever done, to watch. It could very well be the most important film to date, certainly with what is happening in the world right now. And, I wonder when we talk about what can be done and what Republicans need to do, you also have to recognize what the biggest threat is. And I might say that, and maybe you can comment on this, is that I'm not sure that the biggest threat we have is outside of the borders of this country. I think it's inside our borders. I think it's internal. I think we have to look inside to see where the biggest threats lie. Does that make sense? Is that
Absolutely. We are in a cold civil war, and I would say that the biggest threat doesn't even come from the Democratic Party per se. It comes from the socialist left in academia and the media and the entertainment industry, which includes Hollywood and Broadway and most of the comedians. So it is the cultural assault on our liberties that's occurring at every level, and it makes it particularly intolerable because the left is so dominant in these areas. They have gigantic megaphones, and we have nothing to compete with them in this area. So I think this is really why a lot of Republicans feel this sort of sense of inner frustration and anger, because we don't even really have a normal press in the clinical sense of the term. When the founders talked about a free press, they were thinking of an independent group of people who are captive to neither side, who would exercise a kind of independent adjudication or put a critical lens on government and hold it in check. Well, we don't have a press in that sense. Our press covers up for the left while it relentlessly attacks the right. And this one-sidedness, I think, is a large part of our problem.
Is this like something that just occurred, like the post... I don't know how to put this, but the post-Cold War kind of ideology that was out, this kind of destruction or deconstructing the country and figuring out that academia, education is the place to go to begin. Fundamentally, is that where this all began, or is this just a structure that has been slowly just materializing through the years leading up to this moment?
Well, let me, if I can pull back a little bit. In the 1920s, the Italian communist Gramsci made an interesting point. He was trying to explain why Marxist revolution had never occurred anywhere else in the world. And he said it's because the capitalists control the culture. He said capitalists control the culture through the church, they control the culture through civic groups, they control the culture through an appeal to patriotism. So he said, we on the left have to take that over. We've got to take over the schools and universities, and we've got to essentially use our indoctrination. And now the left really began to do that in the 60s. But from the 60s through the 90s, I think the goal was to take over the universities and the education system, but the craziness was confined to those sort of asylums. What's happened in the last 20 years is that crazy culture, the Antifa mentality, if you want to call it, moved out of the campus and onto the street. So you could almost say that Antifa, that the university, academia is the theory, and Black Lives Matter and Antifa are the practice.
Dinesh D'Souza joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Trump Card is his new movie. I dare say the most important movie that you could see right now, dealing with the ideas of socialism and what is going on in this country. And certainly as you look at Donald Trump as president of the United States, the hope that another 4 years could mean hopefully the keeping at bay and maybe even recognizing what is happening. What about this idea that there are individuals that keep doing this. They keep pushing socialism, and how we keep saying, you just have to look at history. You just have to look across the globe. You can see where the type of socialism, I guess, that they're trying to bring to this country has always failed. So is this kind of if as Americans we can do it better than anybody else kind of attitude, or is this just about? Is it something else? I almost look at it as fairness. Like, it seems like fundamentally what's in all of this with socialism and what is being described in this country and what people would like to see is all about fairness, or the lack of.
Well, it is true that there is, among some young people and some Democrats, a sort of generic idealism that draws them to this because, of course, that's the rhetoric of the socialist left. But I think in reality it has nothing to do with fairness. And in fact, pointing to the historical failure of socialism isn't going to do much good. You can sort of think of it this way. If someone is robbing a bank and you say to them, listen, don't rob the bank, because if everybody did it, banks ultimately would run out of money, and there wouldn't be any more banks to rob. So the bank robber is going to say, well, I don't care about that. As long as I can make off with the loot, I'm content. I will worry about the macroeconomic problem later. And so what's happening with the socialists is there's something in it for the beneficiaries, namely entitlement, and there's something in it for the people who perpetrate it, namely political power. And that's what they're interested in. They don't really pay more. They don't go beyond that into some larger circle of economic reasoning. So what you have to do is break up this kind of gangster operation by exposing it and showing that beneath the idealism is a very cynical group of players with a lot in it for them. They're not doing this for some larger good or for society. They're doing it to benefit themselves.
Yeah. I wonder how we get the culture back. Is it just being in control of your sphere? Is it just, I always tell my friends and family, as a homeschool family, we are blessed to be able to homeschool. I'm able to create a curriculum and have a direction for my son as we move forward, and how all I can control is really what's in my bubble, in my sphere. My sphere could be also my friends, but to just be there and to be able to control and to speak and not have fear about talking about issues. When people say you can't talk about politics and religion, my reaction is, yeah, I can. And as a matter of fact, I wish to. It's not about the discussion about them. It's how you approach the discussion. And knowing that there's always somebody that could be listening, that you could change a heart and mind. Is that how we do this?
Well, yes. This, by the way, this Trump card film goes beyond Trump, and I think this is essential because a lot of these problems will outlast Trump, right? Even after Trump, we'll still have to deal with the media. We'll still have to deal with academia. We'll still face the grim fact that we have allowed the left to become so dominant in our culture. And I think, in a way, the only formula for dealing with this, the other side has become sort of so demented, so perverted, we just refuse to live in their culture. And that means we have to create really a completely alternative culture. And that means that the bubble you're talking about, that you apply sort of in a micro way to your own family, we have to enlarge so much that we can live in our own culture. We'll see our own movies, we'll have our own entertainment, we'll have our own comedians, we'll have our own networks. We will not pay attention to the other side. In a sense, it's a sort of, you may almost call it cultural secession within the country itself. We're not talking about leaving America, we're just talking about creating space so we don't have to actually live by their values and their norms.
Yeah. Trump Card is the latest movie from Dinesh D'Souza, who is joining us this morning on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. I have to ask you, as we get ready to go here, with 2016 and Hillary's America and all the other fantastic movies that so many people have watched. And again, Trump Card, please, I recommend watch this movie. It's so critical right now, more than ever. How much do you love making movies? How much do you love the process? How much do you love all of this? You enjoy the process?
I do. I mean, I started out as a writer and speaker, and I still do. The books A couple of months ago, I published United States of Socialism.
Yep.
And I like doing the books because they provide a sort of intellectual script for the movie. But a movie is completely different than a book. A book is an argument, and a movie is an emotional narrative. This movie, which, by the way, if you go to trumpcardthemovie.com, that's how you can figure out how to get the movie. It's not in theaters, but it's coming out to video on demand, and you can watch it on Apple iTunes or Google. There are all kinds of ways, Amazon Prime, Dish, many ways to watch it on any device. But it's fun to make the movies because it's taking a story and presenting it in a way. And by the way, the audience for the movies is much wider. You get all kinds of people who will watch a movie who won't stand in line in Barnes & Noble to buy a book.
Yeah, no doubt. TrumpCardTheMovie.com. That's where you will go to get all the information on where you can go and get and see and all the devices like we just mentioned. So go to the website, TrumpCardTheMovie.com. And check the movie out and check out the info today. Dinesh D'Souza joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate a few minutes of your time. All the best. I know you'll be here in Southwest Florida in a couple of days, so look forward to hopefully getting a chance to speak with you there as well. All the best. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Very excited about my trip.
All right. We'll see you soon. Yes, he'll be here in just a couple of days, Dinesh D'Souza, and certainly talking about Trump card and talking about the ideas of socialism and how now more than ever it really does feel tangible and how ultimately the way to battle it is a changing of culture. You know, all the stories that we constantly hear, and I think it's clear now more than ever that academia, schools, you know, we were just talking about some of the issues that are happening now and some of the stories that we talked about in Lee County schools and what they'll be voting on tomorrow and how you have a say in all of this, but you have to recognize it and maybe somehow to create, like he said, you know, have your own movies, your own shows, your own entertainment, your own value system and places to go to change a cultural narrative in this country from where we are to where we could be. And what a great place that would be. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News. News and smart views.
Has the little blue pill let you down? Our expert medical staff at MyMensClinic.com can and will help. Guys, if you're suffering from ED, we can fix it. Even if you have tried Viagra and other drugs and they've failed you, we will help. Studies have shown that we offer the most effective non-surgical treatments for ED, even if you have other medical conditions. They're generally no problem. We know that hearing "we can try again next weekend" is tough. When what you want to hear is wow, we at MyMensClinic.com have helped thousands of men just like you, thousands more nationally. We can make one simple guarantee, and we do. See our licensed medical staff. If we can't show you positive results during that first appointment, that appointment is free. Guys, let's get the wow back in the bedroom. Guys, let's book online at MyMensClinic.com or call 239-307-0125. That's 239-307-0125. Again, MyMensClinic.com.
Hey, this is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company, but all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now here we are, almost 3 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free tolerance inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. Call Papa now for our free tolerance inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free tolerance inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1331790.
Customers have said they thought our trade-in offer here at Naples Nissan was too good to be true. So, before they drove their new Nissan home, We asked a few of them to share their story.
Hi, I'm Jennifer from Fort Myers. My 2012 Honda CR-V had about 75,000 miles on it. I was finally ready to upgrade, so I went to some local dealers here in Fort Myers to see how much I can get for it. But no one can offer me the original MSRP like Naples Nissan. The 30-minute drive was so worth it. I got just over 17 grand and can't wait to drive home in my brand new Rogue. Finally, my car has Bluetooth.
If your trade-in is less than 8 years old with less than 80,000 miles on it, come get the full base MSRP for it and drive home in a brand new Nissan today. Only at Naples Nissan. Full details at naplesnissan.com. Offer on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
If you have sleep apnea and struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired, irritable.
That's the cutest puppy I've ever seen.
Fatigued.
Can someone please help me lift this tissue?
Forgetful.
Who put this banana in the toaster?
You did?
Oh, yeah.
And even impact your long-term health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. Inspire is a small device placed during a same-day outpatient procedure. Simply click the button on the Inspire remote before you fall asleep. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
In business, things move quickly. You have to be ready to shift, pivot, adapt, then do it all over again. Comcast Business gives you fast, reliable internet on the nation's largest gig speed network. And for a limited time, you can also get fast shipping with Amazon Business Prime Essentials. Wow, that was fast. So no matter what comes next, you can do more than bounce back. You can bounce forward. Help your business bounce forward with this amazing new offer. Get started with powerful internet and voice for $35 each a month for 24 months when you buy both. And ask how you can get 1 free year of Amazon Business Prime Essentials on us. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go online today to find out more. Offer ends 11/1/2020. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 35 megabits per second internet and 1 voice mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, installation, taxes, and fees extra. Subject to change.
You may not know it, but male performance during intimate moments requires proper blood flow, which only gets worse with age. The result? All men experience some level of performance issues over time, from decreased firmness all the way to chronic ED. At Metro Men's Health, our goal is to provide you with the most effective treatment for performance issues. Years ago, we used to use the same technology as other clinics, but didn't settle for one-size-fits-all treatments or outdated wave technology. Should you? We've developed new patent-pending technology called Linear Piezo Energy Protocol, allowing us to create treatment plans specifically to you. We've helped thousands of men achieve consistent, longer-lasting results, and those results can be yours, too. Your condition will only get worse with time. Don't wait. Call Metro Men's Health to schedule your evaluation at 239-599-9900, 239-599-9900, or visit us at metromenshealth.com.
It's Rockstar Harley's Sign and Ride event. 0 cash down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2021 on any new Harley this week. Annual percentage rates such as 1.99% and no payments until 2021 on any new Harley at Rockstar Harley's Sign and Ride event now through Sunday.
Home is truly where the heart is. To protect it, you need top-quality roofing installed by experts. That's why we chose CFS Roofing Services. Owner David Crowther has nearly 4 decades of experience. Now my home's weather-tight and beautifully resilient.
CFS Roofing Services, where your home matters most. Visit cfsroofing.com or call 239-561-2600. I'm David Crowther, and I approve this message.
This Wink News Update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. Today's the deadline to register to vote for the upcoming presidential election. You can register online with your county's supervisor of elections. Also today, Cape Coral City Council will vote whether or not to make more than $34 million in changes to the Cape Coral Yacht Club. Those changes include converting the pool into a small water park with a splash pad and water slide and adding a 3-story parking garage. Crews are gearing up for a new round of road work. Starting tonight at 8 o'clock, there will be north and southbound lane closures along State Road 31 at the Wilson Piggott Drawbridge over the Caloosahatchee. Crews are making those repairs to the bridge post and rail system damaged during a crash. The work will continue until 5 in the morning and will run every night through Thursday. President Trump tweeted another video Sunday night as he continues his recovery from COVID-19 at Walter Reed Medical Center. The president says he's feeling better. He even left the medical center for a short ride in his motorcade past supporters lined up outside the hospital who were wishing him a speedy recovery. Joe Biden is back in Florida today. He'll take part in a town hall meeting in Miami in front of a group of undecided voters. As for President Trump, members of his family are expected to be in Florida over the next 2 weeks as he still recovers from COVID-19. New information on a homicide investigation in Collier County. Deputies tell us the victim is a man. This happened Saturday along River Reach Drive. Other details about what exactly happened have not been released. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live each and every day on YouTube. If you want to watch, if you want to look at this mug, here it is. Not saying it's anything special. It's just, it is what it is. You just go to Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, and please subscribe. We do appreciate it on YouTube. Bill O'Reilly, BillO'Reilly.com. You probably know the website, of course. His No Spin News is on weekday nights, 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. And an astonishing 15 number one ranked nonfiction books, including the Historical Killing series. And as a matter of fact, the latest Killing Crazy Horse, a fantastic book. Bill O'Reilly joining us this morning on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. It's Drew Steele. How are you, sir?
Good, Drew. How you doing down there?
We're doing all right. We're hanging in there. Killing Crazy Horse. How's that doing over there? Doing well?
Huge bestseller. I'm actually very surprised that it's moved so fast, about 300,000 copies in 4 weeks. And people don't know much about, the Native American situation and how their country was forged from Washington to San Francisco. And we fill in all those blanks. We start in Florida. with the Creek Nation rising up and the massacre at Fort Mims in Alabama. Andrew Jackson sent down to quell that, and then it's a rock and roll for 300 pages. So if you read Killing Crazy Horse, you'll know a lot about your country that you did not know.
Yeah, and I might suggest that, people are hungry for people that they trust to write books and get knowledge about our history and the country. And so with that, I would say that's an important aspect of it as well. People are hungry. They want to know more. They want to find out more about what is happening. And even in the news that we have out today, people want to know, except I guess the liberals. The liberals get a little upset. They're a little upset that the president got out there and said hello to some supporters out in front of Walter Reed Hospital. Did that upset you? What did you think about that?
Well, first of all, the coverage over the weekend was abysmal, and every American should be very angry about how the media is presenting information to us because we're being misled. So the exposition of Donald Trump going out in a car to wave at his supporters was propaganda. I mean, obviously, he wants to present himself as still in control. He's not going to let COVID knock him down, and here's a demonstration of that. So right away, you get the Trump haters, which is about 90% of the corporate media, jumping up and down, and we put the Secret Service in danger. Well, if you step back and you know anything, EMTs deal with COVID every day.
Yeah.
All right? And there are precautions that EMTs take. The same precautions were in place for the Secret Service Guard.
Yeah.
So the rate of EMTs contracting COVID is about 0.0001%.
Yeah.
Because there's a way to prevent the disease from spreading. So anybody who knows anything about COVID and how it's being treated knows this. And right away, we know that the CNNs, NBC Newses of the world, New York Times, Washington Post are lying about it.
Yeah.
And they're lying on purpose. And to me, as an American, not as a journalist, not as a pundit, I'm getting tired, Drew, of being lied to.
Yeah, well, that is the biggest problem we have in this at this moment in time. The biggest problem we have is that people want to know what's happening. They want to know, does the mask work like a vaccine or does it not? Should I wear a mask or not wear a mask? The last time I checked, Dr. Fauci said don't wear a mask, but now he's saying wear a mask. And then we have other information. And the WHO in 2019 said, listen, masks don't do anything when it comes to influenza. Well, is this like influenza? Well, and so people get confused, conflicting narratives. But ultimately, when we can't even come together and say, all right, look, this is serious stuff. We're not messing around anymore. We're talking about life and death, and we're talking about this virus. If we can't even come together here with this, then where do we go? Where do we find out the truth? And dare I say, BillO'Reilly.com. And
yeah, I mean, look, and there's some of us who are not involved with this. We love Trump, we hate Trump business because it's destructive. And that's why my enterprises, BillO'Reilly.com, and my books do very, very well, because I don't spin it. So when we have a major news story involving President Trump's health, we would expect in a country that has granted the press privileges to at least have some kind of fairness and some kind of truth-seeking. We don't have that now. So we all have to accept that.
Yep.
It is not going to change. The corporate media has destroyed itself, and it's almost like the NBA, the National Basketball Association, has destroyed itself.
Oh, has it?
All right?
The numbers are awful.
Awful. Okay? And so that's the reality. Will it rebuild? Who knows? But right now, for you guys in Western Florida, you basically should wear a mask. I mean, the big mistake the White House made was having this reception for Amy Coney Barrett and not having a requirement that everybody wears the mask. That should have happened. So that is on the White House. And because it did not happen, many people attending that event now have COVID, including the President of the United States. Now, I don't do woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, as an American, I wear the mask when I go out and I'm in the presence of strangers.
Yeah.
When people I don't know, I wear the mask. Now, whether the mask helps me or not, I don't know, but why not wear it? Right?
Yeah.
I'm a simple man, Drew, as you know. I'm a simple guy. All right? So if it could help, if it could protect me, I'm going to take the chance. I don't like the mask.
Yeah.
I'm very handsome, as you know, so why do I want to wear
Absolutely.
a mask?
Why would you want to cover? Why would you want to cover that? Now, on the other hand, right now, look at me, and I might like the mask. I might actually, you know what, Bill? I might actually put your face on my mask.
On your mask, right?
Just to freshen it up. See.
Yeah, but the really depressing part is that this COVID has changed everything in our country for the worse.
Yeah.
If Donald Trump loses the election, it's because of COVID.
Well,
it's not because of policy.
Yeah.
It's because of COVID, and then secondly, his demeanor. Now, a lot of people love his demeanor. I think Trump will get north of 60 million votes. And so you can't say, well, the way he behaves is it turned off everybody. It hasn't. Mm-hmm. But the COVID has presented a vexing problem that is not yet solved, and we're going to vote in less than a month.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a huge disadvantage to anybody who is in office right now. So it's a very horrible situation that the press is exploiting. That whatever Trump did and whatever the White House did over the weekend, the press was going to say it was bad.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what they did. It was going to be bad.
Yeah.
And so, you're sitting here going, okay, we live in an age of dishonesty. We live in an age of danger. That's true. There's nothing really we can do about it other than seek the truth ourselves and try to go to places that we believe give us that truth.
Right. Like BillO'Reilly.com. Bill O'Reilly joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. In case you do not remember, the latest in the killing series, Killing Crazy Horse, The Merciless Indian Wars in America. Go get the book. It's fantastic. I might ask this question, a couple of different things that you said that I might want to ask. Number one is, when you were talking about the Amy Coney Barrett moment where everybody's sitting in the chairs and some are masked and some are not, Tom Tillis is a big mask guy. He was wearing a mask. Why? So people then say, well, hold on. Here he is wearing a mask. We know that from everything we hear that he talks about, he's constantly wearing a mask, taking all these precautions. We hear stories about people who do that very thing, and still he tested positive for the virus. That's where people get confused, to look at a situation and say, the reason why the president got the virus was because Hope Hicks. The reason why Tom Tillis got it was because of that moment. But we really don't know. But we really don't have.
And you can't speculate.
No,
I mean,
you
it's
can't.
just foolish to waste your time speculating.
Right.
So the senator from North Carolina comes down with the disease. Well, nobody knows whether that was contracted by a family member of his.
Right.
And then it passed on to him through that. Nobody knows.
Right.
And you're not going to know.
Yeah.
So why speculate on it? What I try to bring is a heavy dose, Drew, of common sense.
Yes, you do.
So if you're going to have a big exposition of anything, all right, make sure everybody wears a mask.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay?
Understood.
That's it.
Yep.
It might not prevent it, but you err on the side of caution when you have a pandemic that is this vicious. So that's all. And then other than that, you have to go then ahead. Right now we're looking at Trump getting out of there pretty soon. My sources say he may leave, within a few hours of now. Because obviously that's the optic he wants, and he's the president.
Well, and the world, the world optics too. I mean, we want the world to see, that the president is doing well. We want everybody, certainly.
And he wants to emerge as a guy who is strong, and that he's gone through it, and he's going to bring his experience to the American people. Yeah. That might help him. The polls say that most people felt he was a little too cavalier on this. I think that's true. And that's why I said if he loses, it'll be because of COVID.
Yeah. And I would, interestingly enough, I'd say that of all the people in all the times that we could have a situation where a president would have a virus like this and come out of it okay, and then be able to speak about it directly, that we have such a polarized society that I can't see anybody, because I'm seeing stories about, maybe suburban women will now look at the president and beating this virus, and it could humanize him, and it could swing votes. I don't think it's going to swing anybody. And I think everybody they've planted their flag. Tribalism reigns. This is it. This is who I'm going for. And there is none of that. And it's sad, though. It's taken out of the equation at all.
I think there are people who can be persuaded to vote for Donald Trump, but he's going to have to give them a reason in the second debate in Miami.
Yeah.
The first debate was a fiasco, and it just was. I mean, you just don't. Yeah. He had an advantage. Trump had an advantage going in because he's running against a weak opponent. I mean, it's not like the country is going, we got to have Joe Biden as president. It's not like Barack Obama. Obama's supporters were very, very passionate and rabid, okay? Mm-hmm. Not Biden.
Yeah.
Biden's the fallback, all right? So you can, if you're the president, if you present yourself in a certain way on the 15th of October, you can, I think, get those people who are, you know them, Drew, in your own life. Hey, I don't really know. There's a lot of people like that.
Are there? I don't meet anybody. Maybe you do. I don't meet anybody who's like, I don't have a lot of friends. People don't really like to. I
call them bubble people. All right?
You have bubble people.
They live in this bubble of the handheld device. They're always on it. They're texting about what socks they are wearing today. Whatever it is. They're watching all this garbage. They don't know anything. Yeah. They don't consume news or talk radio. They don't seek anything. They're bubble people. They just live in this little bubble and they just flounce around. But they vote.
Yeah.
And so those are the people that you have to say, look, vote for me because I can help you. I mean, that's what it all comes down to. So I do think that Trump has, and I wrote a column to this effect, and it's posted on BillO'Reilly.com. I just posted it this morning. He's not dead yet, all right? Literally or figuratively.
Right. Either way.
Right. He's not. But he's got to start to get into very specific things. I mean, Hunter Biden is not going to win it for him. But the president is, as you know, I've known him for a long, long time. I wrote a history book on him, the United States of Trump.
Right.
He doesn't follow the standard plan that politicians follow.
But doesn't that make him? Isn't that what makes him so great that he's
not?
It
did.
Yeah.
But I think now with COVID and other things, people want a little bit more normalcy. They want a little bit more specificity because it's a different world now. And I don't know whether he's caught up with that or not.
Yeah. I always look at what's happening with the media and how things are being described, and I think to myself, if the president were to say, you know what, I'm just going to take this moment in time right now and lay the specificity out. I'm going to give you all the specifics on everything. This is what I'm going to do in front of on the TV or on my Twitter account. This is it. Even that won't get the kind of attention with the media. It'll be dismissed. You won't hear about it. You'll hear about something else. And even that message that people need to hear will somehow be watered down or dismissed, or it'll disappear, or it won't get any play.
No, it'll be ignored. You're absolutely right. That's why he's got 2 more shots to bring it himself. I mean, there's no way that the media is going to say he ever did anything good, ever.
Right.
I mean, when I talk to these people, I say, give me one thing that Trump's done well in the last 3.5 years, and then they stare at you.
Yeah.
All right. It's like, so he hadn't done anything? Right. Not one thing he did?
No, nothing.
That's positive? I mean, then you're a zombie. You're a hate Trump zombie, and there's legions of them.
Yeah, like if you say to someone who wants to vote Democrat, if you were to just say, if you were to take the president of the United States out of the equation, the man, his face, everything, just eliminate it, and then tell me what it is about your life that is so bad pre-COVID. I don't know that anybody could describe it. I think that's what somehow has to be done. You've got to dismiss the person of Donald Trump from the president.
They've demonized him to the extent where he's the bad man and all of that. But look, those of us who follow this, I've been quite clear to my audience that I believe the Democratic Party, as it's constituted now, and I've voted for Democrats in the past, is a danger.
Yeah.
It's a danger to me, my family. It's a danger to the country. It's dangerous.
Yep.
And I lay that out very specifically on BillO'Reilly.com. Here is how you are going to suffer if the Democrats take the House, Senate, and presidency. You directly, all right, the working American, the honest American, are going to suffer.
Yeah.
Because they are going to come in with a strong centralized government. So, we got lots of people, I would say hundreds of thousands of people up here in New York, where I am, moving to where you are, Drew.
Yep. Yeah.
And they're moving for a reason.
Yeah.
And the reason is that they're being persecuted by the liberal government that runs New York State and New York City. Persecuted. All right? Their taxes are unspeakable.
Yeah.
All right? And then the money is wasted or stolen, and then you can't even go on the subways now.
Right. It's awful.
Because no one will protect you from the thugs who are down there. And you're telling me this is what you want?
Wow.
Because this is what liberal governance brings. Look at Seattle. Look at Portland. Look at Chicago. Look at Baltimore. Time after time after, and this is what's going to happen on a national level. Now, if Trump would just look into the camera and say what I just said, he might win the election.
Well, it would be powerful. There's no doubt. BillO'Reilly.com is the website, the latest in the killing series, Killing Crazy Horse, the Merciless Indian Wars in America. Bill O'Reilly joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Could you do me a favor? Could you send me maybe an official picture, something you would like for my mask that I'll be making with your face on it? I mean, I want to make sure it's the right one, Bill. I want to make sure that when I make it, that you approve of it.
That would be great, Drew. Well, whatever we can do. I wrote a book called A Bold, Fresh Piece of Humanity. On the cover of the book is me as an altar boy with my hands folded.
Yeah.
That's what you want to use.
Is that the one? Okay.
Yeah, that's what you want to use.
Are you sure? All right. Write that down. Okay, I'll get it now. All right. I appreciate it.
Drew, thanks for having me in. I really appreciate it.
Same here. All the best. We'll see you soon. All right, there he goes. Bill O'Reilly on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. Let's find out how the remainder of the forecast shaping up with Wink News meteorologist Matt Devitt.
Upper 80s to near 90 degrees for your Monday with clouds and sunshine, breezy at times with a chance for some occasional pop-up scattered rain and storms this afternoon and